Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to Martyn Lucas Investor. We're waiting for the Fed report rate decision, and as expected, it rallied up to the moment we bring out the news and comes back down again. That's exactly what you want. So I've not been buying at the moment. I've got $6,000 in my buying power, as you can see on the screen, ready to buy another 9 shares of the S&P if it goes down. Not yet. I've already bought enough. Got to wait for the right moment. And that is what I'm looking to do. I don't mind buying more, but I'm not buying at higher prices. I don't need to. I've got enough shares now fully invested. Okay, get ready. We've got a poll running for you in the chat. We're running a poll right now, and it says rate cut, pause, hike, 0.25% cut or 0.5% cut. I'll tell you now, 58% have said pause. No one has said a hike. 0.25 is 35% and 0.5 is 7. I am right with you. I am 50-50 between a pause and a 0.25. That's where I am. Either one is good if it comes with a dovish tone, and that's it. Now, we're also hoping to hear in the conference at the end. Remember, let me give you the timeline for this. The first thing that we're going to get is the rate cut or rate announcement. That happens in 25 minutes, okay? We're going to get that first. The first thing we'll get is the rate announcement. And then we have half an hour before the conference starts. Then Jerome Powell will speak. What he says and how he speaks is important. And then we'll have the news conference. And the news conference is when we get the volatility again. We'll get questions from the press, and we might even learn more about crypto at that point, which we are looking out for. Will XRP and crypto appear in the press conference? Well, I say it will. Pretty certain of that. Don't know if XRP will get mentioned, but I think crypto probably will. So there we go. We're looking at the overall the S&P right now, as you can see. In fact, I'll go. So this is the S&P. It's down. It's just started to come down a little bit. I want to buy it anything under 510. This is great for me. I'm already fully invested. I've got $300,000 worth invested, so I don't need it to go lower, really. But if it does, I will. But I'm not going to buy it here because I've already bought all I need at lower levels, so there's no point me spending any more money. What I'm doing now is simply reducing my margin. That's the name of the game for me right now, is to reduce my margin. Okay, so let's stand by. Let's get ready to go. Are you excited? Hopefully you're excited. It's a huge opportunity today to make money. Remember, it's easy to make money. The hard part is to keep it and knowing when to move. All right, let's bring all the comments on the screen. Paul got another new member. Paul J just become a member. We've got over 2,000 members now. 98% of our live viewers are members, higher than any other channel in the world. We are extremely proud of that engagement rate. It's off the flipping charts. Let me just go to general public just for a few moments. We'll go back to members only again in a minute. James just became a member. Welcome to you. B, another new member. Khalid Sampson just became a member. Thank you to you. Mike Taggart, a new member. XRP for Martyn Lucas just became a member. Someone's got an account here called XRP for Martyn Lucas. I love it. I absolutely love it. I think that's great. I think that's absolutely brilliant. I think that's great. You've used my picture there in the logo. Absolutely fantastic. Really, really funny. Steve B just became a member. Sandra just became a member. Thank you to you. We've got 13.8% of our viewers now are ladies. That's going to grow hopefully to like 30%, and maybe 50% would be perfect. I'd love to see that. So there you go. Very, very exciting indeed. What else have we got here? We've got Samuel just became a member. Stanislav became just renewed his sponsorship. GW, new member. Gary Reed, new member. This is great. We're waiting to see the rates in 20 minutes. Hello, Stephen, family and the world. Yes, 69 countries in 14 languages. Brian, good afternoon to you. Thank you, Martyn, working hard today. Oh, Am I? Live all day today, live all day, covering everything. I'm already bloody worn out and we're just starting this session. But the good news is when Jerome Powell starts to talk, I can sit back and relax in my chair and I can drink some tea. I've got my tea here in my mug. If you've not got yourself one of the Martyn Lucas mugs, remember this always makes you money. Absolutely right. That is financial advice. If you buy one of my mugs, giant mugs, by the way, look at the size of these mugs. They're massive. It is a fact that if you buy one of my mugs, you do actually always make money. So martynlucasshop.com, get yourself a mug. I've got my mugs on sale today. You can see that in the chat. All right, martynlucasshop.com. If you want to follow me on X and Instagram, there it is. Earlier on, you saw me release the XRP songs. I've got XRP Avit, the first original song, and then the XRP using Dire Straits for XRP, the second song. If you've not yet, another new member. Welcome to you, Danny.
Danny Kiprov has become a member.
Thank you so much indeed, Danny. Can I give you the X and Instagram? There's my music channel. Go and subscribe to that for the latest XRP song I've just put out. Great news today so far. Let's keep it going. Hello to Martyn and all RB. Great to see you here. Kevin B, good day all. Dev Pro just became a member. Another new member. For as long as we've been waiting for this to happen, XRP can't get past 259. It's very disappointing, says Brian G. Patient, says Samuel Redner. Hello, hello, hello. Lestin Win, hello to you. Could this be a sell at the news event? Well, I'm waiting for it to drop so I can buy more. It doesn't matter to me if it sells. I want it to sell. I know what I own. I own great businesses. I only own the S&P. 81% of retail traders are puts. Massive short squeeze coming. Ooh, that's an interesting statistic. Alan Gomes, hope all is well and it goes well. It will go well. It always goes well. Always ways to make money. Hard part is to keep it. I've done 23 trades, 23 wins, 5,000 to 300,000. It's not hard to make money in the stock market. You just have to understand how it works. Almost time for volatility. Yep, 19 minutes to go. Danny Kiprov just became a member. Wow, look at space. Is it going again? Is it going again? It's a short squeeze for Virgin Galactic. Yep. It's happening live today. We've been covering it all day. Yep. Virgin Galactic, yes. Virgin Galactic is short squeezing today. We'll keep an eye on that all day. Lots of videos I put out about it. Live streams I put out about it. Stay in touch with it. Like the live, please. Thank you, Kent Paranormal. Yes, indeed. If you've not tapped the like button, please do that. Thanks, Kent. Tap the like button and consider subscribing. There we go. We're hoping to get to 75,000 subscribers today on the show. In fact, should we see if we can do it? Shall we see if we can do it? Let's get 75,000 today on the show. That's a big milestone. Let's see if we can do it. All right, here we go. We've had 50,000 views over the last 48 hours, all pretty much in the last few hours, which is nice. But let's have a look here. 74,689. Can we make 75,000 subscribers on this show? I think it's completely possible, yes. Would be absolutely great, wouldn't it? 75,000, then we can count down then to 100,000 when I get the plaque on the wall. That's the whole of Wembley Stadium. Absolutely great. Someone said, sod this, I'm unsubscribing. That's all right, we don't mind. We get that. Every time we don't talk about XRP 24/7, somebody unsubscribes. Space is spicy today, Samuel Redner. Martyn, you shouldn't have had any trolling this week. Martyn, you shouldn't have had any trolling this week. I stopped. Benno, I don't get that. What, you're my troll, are you? What would Fed rate cut do to the stock market? Okay, Max. Well, it depends on the tone and it depends on what is said at the end in the press conference. If we get a pause, it's as expected. Stock market won't do much. There'll be some selling because we popped up today, but not really that much. If we get a rate hike, then sayonara. That's not going to happen. If we get a rate cut of 0.25, that's good as long as it's a bullish sentiment, a dovish sentiment. If it's reactionary, if it's to Jerome Powell, if it's to Donald Trump, and the fear of tariffs, That's not good. The way Jerome Powell delivers his message today is really, really important. And then it will be how he gets grilled at the press meeting at the end. So it's all about tone today and hidden language, which will come at the end. So a lot could happen on what he said. I'm looking forward for a rate cut. I certainly would love it because the cost of my margin would come down dramatically. I up my gain, 7,000 in space and 10,000 in Mobix now. Kent Paranormal, wow. Hi Martin, please, my comment. If gold keeps climbing, goes to 10,000, what happens to SPY? Thank you. If gold keeps climbing, well, remember gold goes up because of uncertainty. There's a lot of uncertainty in the world. Don't think gold goes up so the S&P goes up. They are separate, but gold goes up because people are unsure of the market and where the markets are going. So gold can carry on going because of uncertainty. Today, look at this, the opposite. Because the market's doing well, gold's going down. I'm not an investor in gold. I don't believe in gold. I know it's great and we keep it as a reserve and all this stuff, but I prefer assets that do something, actually earns me money. So I only buy the S&P. I don't buy gold, but I can understand why people do. They use it as a hedge. I don't need a hedge. I don't need a hedge around me. When the stock market goes down, I know what I own, and I simply buy more. That's it. When it's undervalued, that's it. Very simple strategy. Explain quickly what a short squeeze is, lads. Explain. Oh, you're asking the audience. Okay. Walker wants to know what a short squeeze is. So he's not asking me. He's asking you guys. So you can go and answer him. Alan Watt Ticker. What about Google, Martin? Google. What about it? Escola. I've just done a full review on Google, an hour-long analysis. If you want a full breakdown of the details of Google, go type into YouTube, Martyn Lucas Investor. And GOOG stock, and you'll see my full analysis. I've just done an hour long, I think it's an hour, full review on Google. I mean, maybe not an hour. Go and check out my full review. You can see yourself. Was the XRP news today fake or real? No, it's real. It's totally real. Yep, Brad Garlinghouse has reported it, and it's been on Bloomberg TV and all sorts. Yes, it is real. I have never seen this many retail puts in my entire life. Every time I've ever seen anything close to this, we skyrocketed like 19, 20, 23. Yes, we're going to skyrocket. That's why I've been buying on the way down and why I'm all in with margin. Absolutely right. Absolutely. I've never seen this many retail puts in my entire life. Don't fight the Fed. Absolutely right. That's what I don't do options. I don't short stocks. I just buy when it's down, undervalued. And when you're 19.7 times earnings for the S&P, if that's not the time to buy, I don't know what is. I like your channel very much. You always cover everything I am interested in. Danny Kiprov, well, thank you so much indeed. If we get a 0.25 cut, which I think we will, then space will get bullish and every other stock with big loans or debts. Iberian Wolf, that is correct. That is correct. XRP news is legit. Yes, it is. More 15 minutes for the conference. David Santos. I don't know what you mean. The rate announcement is in 11 minutes, and then we wait half an hour. We'll see the market move. As it goes down, I'm waiting to buy more. Then we'll get the Fed report, which is about 15 minutes, and then we get the press conference, which is about 20 minutes. All right, that's all that's happening. That's all that's coming up. The fear gauge is less fearful than it was. It's a good sign. Yes. Let me share with you the fear guide, the fear indicator. It's called this one here. You can see extreme fear. We were right down here. We were right down here with extreme fear. We've increased. We're nearly into fear. This is very, very good. We're moving from this level. When the markets are extremely fear, that's when you buy. When everyone is selling, you only buy though if you understand what you're buying and you know why you're buying it. Don't just buy it because it's down. It could be rubbish if it's down. Know why it's down. Understand why it's down. All right. Okay, we're nearly at, I wonder if we can get to 75,000 subscribers today. 74,691. Can we can actually do it today. If everyone who's watching who hasn't subscribed yet subscribes, we can make 75,000 subscribers today. That would be absolutely brilliant. It'd be a dream come true. All right. Okay. Next question. We got 11 minutes to go. Hopefully Mobix has found the bottom and can rally up above $1 again. Says Cameron Morris. The only thing I really believe is silver. Will Sensei be live later? I don't know. Sensei, if Sensei's watching, you'll let me know. If you'd like Sensei, I'll try and get him on the show for you. He's not. I've got no show at the moment advertised for him. Oh, wow. I have my 1-year badge. Iberian Wolf. Let's have a look. Yes, you do. Yes, Iberian Wolf. Congratulations. You got your 1-year badge. 1 more year to go and you get into the VIP club. You get into the Founders Club for our special meetups. But yes, you have your 1-year badge today. Very, very cool. Thank you for your support. Countdown is on. Bitcoin is nervous. Just broke the uptrend. Let's have a little look. XRP. We're going to keep our eye on XRP today. Yes, it's wobbling a little bit, but still up 8.5%. It's had a great day on that news. But anyway, good morning, everyone. Thanks for the XRP rock song the other day, Martin. Hey, Saab, it's doing really well. I've just published it on my music channel as well. Make sure that you go and watch it over there. The XRP song on the main channel is, I think, over 2,000 views now, which is amazing. What has it done now? It's done 2,100 views, and now it's doing well on the music channel as well. So XRP rocks. That was Saab's idea. Saab said you should sing this, and I did. And then I thought, bugger me, I'll put it out as a song, and I did, and it's doing really well. So thank you, Saab, for that. Let's go. 0.25 rate cut to kick off an alt season. I like your simple investment strategy, Osman Covantes. Thank you so much indeed. Do you suggest waiting on the XRP now until it drops? Do you suggest waiting on the XRP now? Well, you can't do anything now until you hear what Jerome Powell says. If you just buy now, you're just blindly guessing. All right. You know that the SEC has dropped the case. We've reported on that this morning. So there you go. Machine buying is at 93%, the highest in history of the stock market. Every time it's been over 80, you see the next day green. Guilty gunner. Congratulations, Wolf. Hello, Saab. How do I get into Discord? I believe I'm a paid subscriber. Should I look for an email? No, Kevin Higgins. Let me have a look. Are you in the chat? Kevin Higgins. I'm just trying to find you in the chat. Kevin Higgins. Oh, there you are. You got 1 month badge. Yes, you can access now Discord as a member. So Kevin Higgins, you've got a couple of choices. We've got 8 minutes to go. Here's Discord Premium. This is where you are a premium customer of Discord. You get instant upgrade, instant access. You are priority. You can talk to Sensei. You can talk to Ed Nevis about the scalp trading, and there are training videos coming. If you click on that link there, you can get into Discord. That will take you right in. If you are a premium customer, it's $2, I think $2.99. I think it is, if you want Discord. That's premium. Okay, you're the highest level. If, however, you want the Discord free service, which is not quite as high as the premium, you don't get as priority for the training and the one-on-one and all that stuff, then you get a free plan where you can see all the channels as a member of YouTube. And for that, you need to be a member, and you have to have a 1 month badge or more. And I can see that you do have a 1 month badge. So simply give me your Discord username in the chat and I will upgrade you. I might not have a chance to do it now unless you do it straight away, but I can upgrade you on an upgrade show. This is not one of those shows, but I've got 7 minutes. If you give it me now, I can do it. If you've clicked on that link, sign up for Discord, I can upgrade you for the free plan right now. If you give me your username, okay? Now, don't forget, do not accept a friend request from anyone called Martyn Lucas. I have scammers on every platform pretending to be me. Oh, Leah, can I give you this? Pretending to be me, and they're not me. I'm the only real Martyn Lucas. Isn't that right, babe? That's right. That's right. I'm the only real Martyn Lucas. Okay. There's my latte mug. Leah just bought me a latte. MartynLucasShop.com. Look at the size of that bad boy. You like that? MartynLucasShop.com. Lovely. Okay. I hope that answers your question. That's how, Kevin, that's how you get on Discord. Let's see how it goes. 6 minutes ago. Is there a video showing you how to use Robinhood for everything? There's lots of videos on Robinhood. If you'd like me to do a series of Robinhood videos, I can do that for you. If you'd like me to, I could do a whole playlist of Robinhood videos. Whatever you want, really. If you want me to make specific videos, do a super chat and I'll record whatever you want me to. I'll make a series of videos for you if you want. But ask me anything about Robinhood live on the show and I'll tell you. Do it live. Brian Bynum, thanks, mate. And likewise, Martyn, is you. Is it you that sent me a friend request on WhatsApp? Oh, dear. Why would you ask me that? You know full well. Poor man, rich man. Are you not a member anymore? Or is this a fake account? This could be a fake poor man, rich man account because you're a member. This is somebody else. I'm unsubscribing. Okay. Poor man, rich man. This person in the chat looks like they're a scammer because poor man, rich man is a member of our channel. This person hasn't got a membership badge and they're trying to get attention saying, did you send me a friend request? Oh, was it? It's a troll. Yeah, someone pretending to be somebody else in our channel. There you go. So I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're not going to put up with that. We're going to go members only in the chat. This is why we do it. We don't deal with trolls and bots on this channel. We ain't got time for it. Real investors want to make money, not hear nonsense from idiots. We will make it or break it today. Dynamite, what does not send friend requests? What Martyn? Yeah, exactly. It was a scammer, Dynamite. He's not a member. I was opening it to the public, and that's what happens when you open to the public. We are a members-only channel, really investors. We're here to make money. We're not here to waste time. We're not here to talk nonsense. We're not here to promote stuff. We're here to make money and help people. So straight away, we'll go back to members-only mode. That will not be him. No, it's not him at all. Where is James 007? I think rates are going down 5% again. Okay, we got some idiots in here. We got some idiots in, Leah, moderators. So we're members only now. I've switched over to members only, so that will stop right now. Got a little space of shares. Cut them rates. In fact, that account there, we're going to block that one as well. There we go. That's another account reported to YouTube. Okay, good. What time is Powell speaking? We got 3 minutes for the announcement. And then he speaks 30 minutes after that. Hey there, Brian. How you doing? 5 minutes or so. Yeah, 4 minutes now. 3 minutes. 3 minutes. I'll cover it all live. Don't worry. You're in the right place. You are in the right place. I cover everything. Kevin Higgins, you're very welcome. Do you self-custody your crypto? Hang on a minute. We're in... someone's sneaking in. We got a few people here sneaking in who aren't members. There we go. We're in members only mode now. A few people got in at the end there. Don't know how you managed that. There you go. Awesome. Blockchain. I've seen Paul Richmond make troll comments in the past. Yeah, but this isn't him. This is somebody else talking nonsense. LOL. Martyn on Robinhood. It doesn't allow me to withdraw money same minute or day. Does it take a day for money to settle down and can I withdraw up to 24 hours? On Robinhood, it doesn't allow me to withdraw money same minute. Mine does. I think you've got to be over $25,000 to be able to do that. Mine is instantly. I can transfer $250,000 in my account and out of my account instantly. But you have to be a gold member and have $25,000 to do that. And that's the Robinhood UK. Sorry, Robinhood US, not Robinhood UK. Robinhood will instantly transfer on debit card for a little fee. You don't need to do that. You can have instant transfers for free. I have instant transfers up to $250,000 from my Bank of America straight into my account. I did it today. All right, you don't, and has only got $25,000. Right, 1 minute to go. Here we go. Here we go. Stand by. Very, very exciting day today. Here we go. And then the most important part is at the end. I'm going to fast forward this.
As always, Kathy Jones, Chancellor, alongside Aditi Bank of America. That decision 2 minutes away. But Michael, just a final word going into that decision.
What I heard from Kathy is they're buying bonds because, like us, they're seeing net inflows to the bond market. So you can be neutral. You're still buying bonds. I like the
I'm fast forwarding live because you can do that. Here we go.
Saying that is to this wall of money that people talk
1 minute to go. Stand by. Here we go.
Wall of money waiting for any backup in bond yields.
Come on.
Yes.
I want to see it drop.
All kinds of pools of investors are under-allocated to public fixed income.
Very exciting day.
Sentiment shift to Europe and other parts of the bond market, haven't we, in the past year or so?
1 minute to go.
This really is a big decision. This is a tough decision, not because they're going to move 25, 50 basis points. It's not about that this time around. It's about how you navigate these policy changes.
It's how they speak and how they report it. It's the tone. We're going to end the poll. 55% says pause.
You've got to understand what it means for markets, consumer expectations.
30 seconds to go.
How it's going to translate into things like inflation, growth over the next several months, and somehow put out projections for the world to interrogate.
Which people will have to understand is something of a dartboard throwing darts at it. Some of the questions.
It's 4.5 at the moment.
Jerome Powell today. One of them is,
stand by.
Are you more worried about stagflation-like conditions
15 seconds.
than you were on January 29th? And if so, why? What has changed? And see how that gets navigated.
I look at their dual mandate quickly here, John.
5,
mandate,
4,
labor, and it's
3, 2, 1. The rate is the stand by. Stand by. Stand by.
This is a 3-part act. In about 10 seconds' time, you get 2 parts. You get a decision and the forecast. 30 minutes later, you will have a news conference with Chairman Powell. The equity
4.5 unchanged. 4.5 unchanged. Pause. Markets going up.
Well, I was wrong. We do have some news today. No change in rates, but a significant cut in the Fed's view of growth over the next 2 years. A majority of the committee moving lower on the dot plot, even though there's still 2 cuts forecast for next year. There's a pause in QT and a dissent on that. The benchmark rate stays the same, 4.25% to 4.5%, but the policymakers cut their median GDP forecast for this year to 1.7% from 2.1%, and next year to 1.8% from 2%. Headline PCE inflation rises to 2.7% this year from 2.5%, and core to 2.8% from 2.5%. The unemployment median for this year is now 4.4%, up 1/10. In their statement, officials removed language that risks to the employment and inflation mandates are roughly in balance, now saying the committee is attentive to the risks on both sides of its dual mandate. They emphasize that by saying uncertainty around the economic outlook has increased. That's reflected in the dot plot. 8 members now see 1 cut or 2 cuts or fewer. The median stays at 2 cuts with 2 more for 2026. The Fed, beginning in April, will slow its balance sheet runoff to $5 billion a month from $25 billion for treasuries. It will retain the $35 billion cap on mortgage redemptions. They don't attribute the change to anything, not to the debt ceiling, but we would expect Chair Powell to talk about that in his news conference. But the change in the runoff drew a dissent from Governor Chris Waller, who approved of the no change in policy rates, but dissented on the idea of slowing the balance sheet runoff.
Mike McKee, there's so much to work through here. Appreciate your time, sir. Apparently stagflation is bullish. We'll get to that in a moment. We are firmer in the stock market by 0.6% on the S&P. On the Nasdaq, we're up by 0.8. Mike went through the forecasts and the revisions. Let's do that again, because these are significant.
I'm going to give you my thoughts in a moment. Stand by.
And look at the median projection. The change in real GDP. The projection now, 1.7%, down from 2.1% previously. Those forecasts.
Growth is down. They think the economy is going to slow.
Up to 4.4%. The previous forecast was 4.3%. Core PCE, 2.8%. The previous projection, 2.5%. And the median dot, unchanged. So, Lisa, what we've got here is the Federal Reserve essentially saying inflation is going to be higher than we thought it would be. Growth is going to be weaker than we thought it would be. And as for policy, Well, policy doesn't change. That is the stagflationary mix in the forecast that some people were anticipating.
Because we've heard it from all across Wall Street. If they hadn't done this, that would be sort of surprising, since they seem to be reflecting a general sentiment out there. Key question.
Okay, so let me give you my thoughts on this. So we've got a pause. So the majority of us were right. We thought a pause, thought a chance of a cut was there, but we got a pause. Markets are bullish on it. It stayed up. This could be early doors, though. Like I said, particularly today, we're going to wait until Jerome Powell speaks. He speaks in 26 minutes. What he says in this conference and how his tone is everything. Okay? If we look here at XRP, that held up. We'll get mention of crypto in the press conference, so stand by for that. Virgin Galactic, which we're talking about, is in the middle of a short squeeze. We're talking about that today as well. 31% short interest, and the stock is up crazy today. So we've got a short squeeze, $100 valuation now on this stock price, 98% undervalued. They're all about rates coming down. There's no rates coming down, only a couple of times this year. That's what I've been saying for ages. 1 minute people go, there's going to be 10 rate cuts and there's going to be none. I've said 2, some maybe 3. Now you've heard it again, a couple. I'm okay with that. I want steady growth. Like I said before, Jerome Powell is not under pressure from Donald Trump. He's standing by what he believes. He's concerned that we've got, basically what they're saying is stagflation. What we've got there is inflation is sticky, but still coming down. Remember that. But the economy is cooling. That, I think, pretty much, and they'll say it's not political, but we'll get a tone at the conference. I think that's quite political. Donald Trump is all about growth. He's a businessman, essentially. Right now, there's fears in the market. I think this was done on purpose. Again, like the market did not want to overpump. Donald Trump was trying to bring everything down to get those rates down. He hasn't succeeded. He hasn't succeeded in the Fed reacting to him. I knew that was going to happen. I knew that wouldn't happen. But by the Fed coming out and saying that the economy is going to cool this year, that will really annoy Trump. That will make him think about the tariffs. I think we will get the rate cut, as I predicted, in the next call, right? And inflation will continue to come down because inflation, they'll mention it today in the report, inflation is only temporary with tariffs. Long term, it's not inflationary. So I do think that we will see inflation continue to come down. And growth, I think, will come back and increase, but the Fed don't want to say that. They don't want to say that and light everybody up on the stock market. They don't want this to explode. They do want to support the economy. They don't want to explode the stock market. They are two completely different things. So it's not really that exciting at the moment, to be honest. But it's how Jerome Powell delivers his speech in just 20 minutes time. So I'm very excited about that. But it's not been the explosive day. If we'd have got a pause and we were still revising down inflation and we were still okay with growth, that would be a great day. The market isn't moving. The market doesn't know how to react to this because it's a pause. Okay, we priced that in. And you're saying growth is coming down. We kind of knew that. And you're saying inflation is sticky. We kind of knew that. There's nothing to be revealed here today. This has been a probably underwhelming report so far. However, it's how he delivers it and his tone. And the tone is everything. And it's how he gets questioned at the press conference as well. So look out for that. All right. So we've got 20 minutes to go. This is interesting. Let's get some other views. Let's get some views here. Let's have a little look at it.
They cut the real growth more than they raised the inflation rate. But I think ultimately, I've termed this the meeting before the meeting. I think the most important meeting for the Fed is going to be the May 7th meeting. All right. They cut their forecast. We've got the histrionics of a 10% correction. We're all talking about tariffs. If we get to that May 7th meeting and they do not find a reason to cut rates, they're not going to find a reason to cut rates this year unless something else comes that we don't expect. And I think when you look at the market right now, at least the initial reaction in Fed Fund futures and the like, is that they're not going to cut rates at that May 7th meeting. So we'll have to see what transpires in the press conference that kind of gets us going there. Because like I want to emphasize it again, what more would they need to see at May 7th that they already haven't if they go to that meeting and they don't cut it? So this is the meeting before the meeting.
There's also a question about just how much inflation expectations are going to tick up and what the signal is from them.
So for me, this is still good. I still believe that the S&P is the right way to go. That's why I didn't buy when it rallied today. I never buy when it goes up anyway. I'm simply waiting. Oh, hello.
Dog Attack donated 200 yen through a super chat. Dog Attack. Bark bark ouch ouch. Drop of blood emoji.
Oh, there we go. So we've got one of my trolls has paid to troll the channel. That's interesting. So we're going to ban this channel. There we go. There we go. And we've got a troll now paying to troll the channel. That's interesting. I've never seen anyone do that before. Maybe we need to raise the price and make it more expensive to troll the channel. I like it. That's a good one. I've never seen that before. That's a new tactic. Thank you, Martyn, for all your work you've been doing today. Thank you so much indeed. You're very, very welcome. Very welcome indeed. There you go. So let's get back to here. I'm still very, very happy. The portfolio is held up. If it drops down, which it probably will now, I can buy another another 9 shares of the S&P. But I'm going to wait for it to drop now because this will allow the market to sell off and take profits. Bound to. Yeah, paying trolls. It's hilarious. Yeah, it's quite funny, really. I'll just raise the price. I'll just make the super chat minimum higher, so it'll cost them more and more money. But anyway, that's quite funny. Don't ban the troll. Let them bark. Yeah, well, let them pay to troll me. Why not? Thank you, Martyn, for all your work you've been doing today. Paying trolls. Yeah, I've never seen anything like it. It's quite funny. Don't ban the troll. Let them bark, said Iberian Wolf. No, I ain't got time for that. We're here for investors, not for idiots. I don't need their money. Oh, dear me. Do not raise the price. Just ban them. I have banned them, but I can just ban them on the super chat mode as well. So I'll do that. Yeah. Recent events. How long have we got? We've got 15 minutes before the case starts. Let me go recent events. There we go. Recent events. Now this person's going to get banned on YouTube, and they're going to get banned on Streamlabs. I love it. Very funny. Look at the market rallying on this news. This makes no sense. Don't buy the pump, guys. Do not buy this. All right? Please do not buy this. Let it go up. If you're already in, that's fantastic. I don't know. I have no idea what that is. I have a minimum now. I think it's a minimum of, I think my minimum for Super Chat to read it out, I think is $2. I think it is. So it's costing them $2. They can carry on all day if they want. Anyway. Let's read some more comments. Do not raise the price, just ban them. Voo to the moon. I have sent a friend request. You've sent a friend request on Discord. Okay. Kent Paranormal. All right, let's have a look. I don't see a friend request on Discord. Nope. You've not sent me a friend request, which means you've friend requested the wrong person on Discord. Let me give you my name. I know what you've done. You've tried to reach out to somebody on Discord called Martyn Lucas. Do not do that. Here's my friend request. It's Martyn Lucas spelt correctly. Please look at the username, not the display name, the username. Martyn Lucas. They're Martyn Lucas 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Don't click on those. Okay. $1, says Iberian Wolf. Whack-a-troll. Whack-a-troll. Right, 15 minutes ago. I'm surprised the market is rallying on this, but then again, they could be just rallying it just to drop it. That's why you don't want to be pushing this. Let it go. XRP is holding up. We'll get mention of crypto in the press conference. Virgin Galactic is up. Everyone's buying. Let them buy it. Don't you chase it. Let them buy it. You're already an investor in Virgin Galactic. We brought it to you when it was pennies before it's short squeezed. Don't chase the short squeeze. Allow everybody else to buy it for you. Don't you buy it. All right. Zoo to the moon indeed. I'm very grateful for your reports. I got space after watching the report. I also have Vu with you, which are the first two non-crypto investments I've made. Thanks again, Brian G. You are most welcome. Trump just posted a comment on nuclear energy on Truth a couple of moments ago. Could there be any potential for related stocks? Yes. A lot of people are looking at nuclear stocks right now for power. That's getting very much in the news. I can believe that it's going up, but we're pumping on stagflation news, which is bizarre, but we are. But remember, the market's oversold though. It could be seen as a political move from the Fed. I don't think they're political though, but that's what some will say. Some will say. They're saying that the markets are going to cool, which gives everyone the chance to buy. And then it will just do well later on this year. But again, don't buy. I'm already in. Remember, just let it go and buy when it sells off because there'll be another opportunity. Virgin Galactic is short squeezing while we're watching it. We've got 15 minutes to go before Jerome Powell takes the stage. That's when the fun begins. All right, let's listen in for some more opinion.
And some kind of seizure in the Treasury bond market. They don't want a repeat of that September 2019 event, and that's what they're hedging against. They still want to run off their mortgage portfolio. They don't want to hold mortgage bonds. Their mortgage bonds, they're going to roll off when people buy those homes because nobody wants those right now. They're not just going to easily roll off in a very stagnant and stuck housing market. But I see this as a much more hawkish kind of tone from the Fed. Also important to note the ingredients that go into the
I'm getting a number of people ask me what a short squeeze is. So I'm going to explain it very quickly. I've done a full video. If you type Martyn Lucas Investor short squeeze, you can see exactly. I've done lots of videos on it. We've got 14 minutes before Jerome Powell takes the stage. Let me explain what this is. I'm going to really simplify it. This is just a very simplified way of looking at it, but I think the simple explanation is the best one in this case. So let me explain. In a market, you've got bulls and bears. You've got people that believe the stock's going to go up, and you've got people that believe the stock is going to go down. There are people who buy stocks, and there are those who do options on the stocks. All right, with future prices, future contracts, and so on and so forth. So there's two ways to buy and to sell. Now, some people who, if they don't believe in a stock, like for me, for example, if I don't believe in a stock, I don't buy it. If I'm bullish, I buy it. If I'm bearish, I don't buy it. That's all I do. It's very simple. Whereas there are people who like to bet against a stock going down. They believe a stock is going to go down. So they're betting that the stock will go down by using option contracts, okay? They take contracts out, projecting and assuming that a stock is going to go down. And if it does go down, they win, and they win very nicely. However, if they get it wrong, it goes really badly. So there are those that try to short the market. They bet against. They don't simply buy a stock. They buy an options contract betting that the stock price will go down. Okay, so what you've got now with Virgin Galactic, you've got people buying the stock, so the stock goes up. That's how it works. Remember, for every trade, there has to be a buyer and a seller. No one can buy anything unless anyone's selling it. And if no one's selling it, the price goes up until someone starts to sell. That's how the price works. If no one's selling, someone bids more, then someone goes, okay, I'll sell it. That's how the price moves up. So when everyone's buying and everyone's selling, it's going up, right? Because everyone's buying and the price goes up. If people are betting against a stock, with options, for example, on Virgin Galactic, there's 31% is short selling. People taking contracts betting the price is going down. Now, what happens is when the stock price doesn't go down, those that bet against it are forced to liquidate their contracts. Otherwise, they'll lose all their money. So they are forced to either lose all their money or buy the contract, buy the stock on the way up. Okay, so they'd rather not lose their money, so they start to buy as well. So now what you've got is you've got the bulls buying on the way up and the shorters getting short squeezed, because what happens is they are forced to buy. And think of it like a champagne bottle. You know, a champagne bottle's got a neck like that, and it goes up and the pressure builds. Everyone is buying. All the shorters are starting to buy as well, because if they don't, they lose all their money. So now everyone's buying. Everyone who loves it is buying it. Everyone who hates it is buying it. Everyone is buying it. The stock price is forced to go up. And what happens is it gets contracted and it gets squeezed, a short squeeze. As all the people that are short in the stock are squeezed to make a decision to buy. And now everyone's buying, so it poof, pops out like a champagne bottle, and the stock price can go up 100%, 200%, 300% very, very quickly. And that's what we've got happening now. Now, for a short squeeze, you need a minimum of 20% short interest. You can't do it for less. It doesn't work, okay? We've got 31% short interest at the moment. Then you need a lot of buying. A lot of volume, a lot of people buying. If no one's buying, it doesn't matter how many shorts there are, nothing's going to happen, because those that are saying the stock price is going to go down are winning. It's not going up. No one's buying. But when you get a lot of volume and a lot of people are trading, a lot of people are buying the stock, and a minimum of 20, we're at 31. GameStop was 100% when it exploded, but it was still going up and up, and then it just went boom really quickly. That's what a short squeeze is in a simplified version, in a simplified explanation. So right now, we have 31% short interest. People betting against Virgin Galactic is very, very high. They want it to go down. Well, it isn't. It's going up. Those contracts are going to expire where they're going to lose all their money or they're going to be forced to buy. And as it goes up and up and up and more people buy, you squeeze the shorters. Shorters are known for winning the battles. They often win battles in the fight against the stock, but they always lose the wars. I don't believe in shorting. I've never shorted a stock. I don't believe in options. I simply buy a business and hold it forever and allow the business to work for me. Simple. So that's what's happening right now. Now, do we have enough short interest? 31, yes. We could do with some more, but currently it's about 31. That might increase. Why you would short it now, though, would be, well, some people might short it now thinking, okay, it's overbought, it's going to go down again. So putting more short pressure on it. But then again, they're more likely to get short squeezed. Then you've got people buying it. We need more volume. Now, right now, if I show you the volume on Virgin Galactic, the average volume on Virgin Galactic is 1.74. The average. We are 20 past 1 in the afternoon, and we're 4.5 million. Right? We're more than double the average. It's good, but it's not exploding. We'd like 4 or 5 times the average, and then you'll get a short squeeze. So essentially, if you want all the shorters to lose all their money and you want to get rich very quickly, then buy a ton of Virgin Galactic right now and get everybody else to buy it, and that will probably happen. But it's speeding up, it's doing well, but it's not there yet. But we are getting shorts squeezed right now, but it hasn't exploded out of the top of the champagne bottle just yet. But it's getting closer. All right? Okay. We've got 8 minutes to go before Jerome Powell takes the stage. That's when the volatility really begins. Let me read your comments. What does short squeeze mean? Just tried adding you on Discord, but it says you're not accepting requests. Samuel Redner. That's because you haven't verified your account. You've got to verify your email. You've got to wait 10 minutes. But I do accept friend requests from members who have a 1-month badge. Okay. The easiest way to do it, if you want instant access to Discord and priority and instant friend requests and instant everything, is become a Discord premium. It's like $2.99. there you go. There is the Discord. Send me a friend request. That happens straight away. There's no waiting. There's no 1 month waiting. That's why it's Discord Premium. Now Martyn Lucas is only the news channel I follow. Keep up the good work. Khaled, thank you so much indeed. Saab, yes, check BM Brookfield Corporation. They own Westinghouse, who are huge in SMRs. I'm all in too, Mr. Peckman. Thank you. Good luck to you. Bought the S&P last week. Congratulations. Lestin, hello, 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 hello. Is there a bear statue on Wall Street? Is there a bear statue on Wall Street? No, it's just a bull. There's no bear on Wall Street. Nvidia will never see 200. It feels like this past 10 months it has bounced between 105 150. No, I don't agree. I think Nvidia will be $200. And Niscal Power is a good contender for nuclear SMRs. So God made a farmer. It comes down to price earnings. Nvidia was all hyped 10 months ago. Now it's cooling off and the stock is becoming cheaper and cheaper. I don't agree. I'll still see it going to 200. When convenient, do a talk on what's happened to ASTI. William, yes, not today though. Today is my birthday. Jerome Powell can give me a rate cut. Jenny B, I haven't got time to do happy birthday now before the call, but if you are here at the end, please remind me, we'll do happy birthday for you. You are a member of the channel. I go to the piano live in the show and we do happy birthday. Jenny B. Happy birthday. Yes, come on everybody. Lestin win. Let's copy and paste. Happy birthday, Leah. Happy birthday, Jenny. Thank you for answering my question on short squeeze. What is meant by the S&P? Standard and Poor. Standard and Poor. That's what it is. Happy Friday, Jenny B. How can we check on Berkshire's cash percentage, whether they entered or not? You go on to their prospectus, go on to Berkshire Hathaway's pages and look at their prospectus. Do expect to go back to the 1970s, though. It's very old-fashioned, but it's very clear. Happy birthday, Jenny. Lovely. Right. Everything's going up at the moment. Jerome Powell hasn't spoken yet. Virgin Galactic is squeezing even more, 14.29. Look at that today. Absolutely fan-flipping-tastic. We love it. Happy birthday, Jenny. Lovely. Right. This is very exciting. Very, very exciting day today. Okay, 4 minutes to go. We're watching a short squeeze happen in real time. Stand by. We've got 4 minutes to go. Jerome Powell will take the stage. When he does, I shall stop talking and we'll hand it over to Jerome Powell. Be very interesting. Oh, lovely. I do enjoy a latte. Robbie, happy birthday. Look at all these happy birthdays. Absolutely great. So we'll do a happy birthday at the end of the presentation of Jerome Powell. Hopefully Jenny will still be here. Happy Friday, happy birthday, yes. Lovely, lovely, lovely. This is awesome. Surprised how bullish it is, really, but this is what the markets do. They pump just to dump it, so be careful. As soon as it goes down, I am going to buy some more. I can buy another 9 shares. If it doesn't go down below that level, I'm simply just going to reduce my margin. I've got enough shares now to take me to $1 million live on the show. I don't need to do anything else. All I've got to do is hold and let all this play out. Okay? There we go. 3 minutes to go. Stand by. Is everyone excited? I am. I'm always excited. I love life every single day. I think life is that fantastic. Let's go for all our positions. The S&P 500 up today. Virgin Galactic short squeezing right in front of us. Palantir up 3%. Gold pretty much flat. Amazon up. Apple up. Next Era Energy down slightly. Enphase Energy up. We got another new member.
Paul Griffiths has become a member.
Okay, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We've got 2 minutes to go. Let me just tell everybody what you get as a membership. There is the membership link. If you want to become a member, if you are on an iOS device, select a browser, desktop version, and you will find the information to become a member. you can get Discord straight away for all our training. We've got Ed Nevius, who's paid thousands to learn to be a scalp trader. He will teach you up to one-on-one. If you are a Discord premium member, you get priority for that service. And that service is so busy, suggest you are a Discord premium member. It's only a couple of bucks a month, all right? My membership price will never go up. In fact, it gets cheaper every year. I add more services, and I never increase the price with inflation. So it's the best investment you'll ever make. So the only investment you'll ever make that never goes up in price, in fact, gets cheaper every year, and I add more services. There's my Seeking Alpha and Alpha Spread. My members get discounts up to 10%, free trials, and so on. If you're a member, you get a free song on the channel on Friday. Join me for the pub show. This Friday we'll be having an XRP party. Join us and you have a free song when you're a member. There's Instagram and X. If you follow me on Instagram and X, I will engage with all of my members, answer all your questions. We have many members-only live streams. All our CEO interviews are all members only. All the really important videos are members only. I don't mean members only chat. I mean actually members only get to see them. I have members only live streams. We have members only chat like today, right now, to focus on the members. They're all members only chats. Okay. You can also get, here's my Robinhood USA if you want some free stocks in the United States. There's Robinhood UK if you want that. If you reply to any of my comment, any of the videos, I will reply back to you live on the show. Anything you want, I will reply back to you. Any comments on YouTube, I filter it out for members. So ask me a question. If you want me to cover an earnings call, you can give me a $5 super chat and I will cover an earnings call for you. If you have news, you can send it once you're a member on Discord into Discord links for YouTube, and I will cover your favorite stock live on the show and make a video out of it. And most of my videos will trend #1 on YouTube for the stock ticker name. So you can promote your own favorite stock. You can ask me to cover earnings calls, review stocks. There's so many things that you get as a member. It's only a couple of bucks. And I'm here to help people. That's what it's all about. And just get rid of all the idiots. And we have a few. But there you go. All right, we're just about to hit 75,000 subscribers. Please join the Lucozade family. It'd be wonderful. We're live 12 hours a day, many streams for the members as well. And that's it. We're now waiting for Jerome Powell to take the stage. Here we go. I'm all ready to go. Here he is.
News conference. That news conference begins right now.
Good afternoon. My colleagues and I remain squarely focused on achieving our dual mandate goals of maximum employment and stable prices for the benefit of the American people. The economy is strong overall and has made significant progress toward our goals over the past 2 years. Labor market conditions are solid, and inflation has moved closer to our 2% longer run goal, though it remains somewhat elevated. In support of our goals, today the Federal Open Market Committee decided to leave our policy interest rate unchanged. We also made the technical decision to slow the pace of decline in the size of our balance sheet. I'll have more to say about these decisions after briefly reviewing economic developments. Economic activity continued to expand at a solid pace in the fourth quarter of last year, with GDP rising at 2.3%. Recent indications, however, point to a moderation in consumer spending following the rapid growth seen over the second half of 2024. Surveys of households and businesses point to heightened uncertainty about the economic outlook. It remains to be seen how these developments might affect future spending and investment. In our summary of economic projections, the median participant projects GDP to rise 1.7% this year, somewhat lower than projected in December, and to rise a bit below 2% over the next 2 years. In the labor market, conditions remain solid. Payroll job gains averaged 200,000 per month over the past 3 months. The unemployment rate at 4.1% remains low and is held in a narrow range for the past year. The jobs to workers gap has held steady for several months. Wages are growing faster than inflation and at a more sustainable pace than earlier in the pandemic recovery. Overall, a wide set of indicators suggests that conditions in the labor market are broadly in balance. The labor market is not a source of significant inflationary pressures. The median projection for the unemployment rate in the SEP is 4.4% at the end of this year and 4.3% over the next 2 years. Inflation has eased significantly over the past 2 years, but remains somewhat elevated relative to our 2% longer run goal. Estimates based on the Consumer Price Index and other data indicate that total PCE prices rose 2.5% over the 12 months ending in February, and that excluding the volatile food and energy categories, core PCE prices rose 2.8%. Some near-term measures of inflation expectations have recently moved up. We see this in both market and survey-based measures, and survey respondents, both consumers and businesses, are mentioning tariffs as a driving factor. Beyond the next year or so, however, most measures of longer-term expectations remain consistent with our 2% inflation goal. The median projection in the SEP for total PCE inflation is 2.7% this year, a little higher than projected in December. In 2027, the median projection is at our 2% objective. Our monetary policy actions are guided by our dual mandate to promote maximum employment and stable prices for the American people. At today's meeting, the committee decided to maintain the target range for the federal funds rate at 4.25% to 4.5%. Looking ahead, the new administration is in the process of implementing significant policy changes in 4 distinct areas: trade, immigration, fiscal policy, and regulation. It is the net effect of these policy changes that will matter for the economy and for the path of monetary policy. While there have been recent developments in some of these areas, especially trade policy, uncertainty around the changes and their effects on the economic outlook is high. As we parse the incoming information, we're focused on separating the signal from the noise as the outlook evolves. As we say in our statement, in considering the extent and timing of additional adjustments to the target range for the federal funds rate, the committee will assess incoming data, the evolving outlook, and the balance of risks. We do not need to be in a hurry to adjust our policy stance, and we are well positioned to wait for greater clarity. In our SEP, FOMC participants wrote down their individual assessments of an appropriate path for the federal funds rate based on what each participant judges to be the most likely scenario going forward. An admittedly challenging exercise at this time in light of considerable uncertainty. The median participant projects that the appropriate level of the federal funds rate will be 3.9% at the end of this year and 3.4% at the end of next year, unchanged from December. While these individual forecasts are always subject to uncertainty, as I noted, uncertainty today is unusually elevated. And of course, these projections are not a committee plan or a decision. Policy is not on a preset course. As the economy evolves, we will adjust our policy stance in a manner that best promotes our maximum employment and price stability goals. If the economy remains strong and inflation does not continue to move sustainably toward 2%, we can maintain policy restraint for longer. If the labor market were to weaken unexpectedly or inflation were to fall more quickly than anticipated, we can ease policy accordingly. Our current policy stance is well positioned to deal with the risks.
No mention about increasing rates.
In pursuing both sides
Good.
of our dual mandate.
Just for longer. Good.
At today's
Stability.
meeting, we also decided to slow the pace of decline in our balance sheet. Since we began balance sheet runoff, our securities holdings have declined by more than $2 trillion. While market indicators continue to suggest that the quantity of reserves remains abundant, we have seen some signs of increased tightness in money markets. Beginning in April, the monthly cap on Treasury redemptions will be lowered from $25 billion to $5 billion. Consistent with the committee's intention to hold primarily Treasury securities in the longer run, we are leaving the cap on agency securities unchanged. This action has no implications for our intended stance of monetary policy and should not affect the size of our balance sheet over the medium term. The committee also continued its discussions as part of our 5-year review of our monetary policy framework. At this meeting, we focused on labor market dynamics and our maximum employment goal. As we have indicated, our review will include outreach and public events involving a wide range of parties, including Fed Listens events around the country and a research conference in May. Throughout this process, we will be open to new ideas and critical feedback, and we will take on board lessons of the last 5 years in determining our findings. We intend to wrap up the review by late summer. The Fed has been assigned 2 goals for monetary policy: maximum employment and stable prices. We remain committed to supporting maximum employment, bringing inflation sustainably to our 2% goal, and keeping longer-term inflation expectations well anchored. Our success in delivering on these goals matters to all Americans. We understand that our actions affect communities, families, and businesses across the country. Everything we do is in service to our public mission. We at the Fed will do everything we can to achieve our maximum employment and price stability goals. Thank you. I will look forward to your questions.
Good. The market likes it because it's stable and no influence from Trump. This is a very, very good report today.
How much of the higher inflation forecast for this year is due to tariffs? And since the policy path remains the same, are you effectively reading this as a one-time price level shock?
Okay, so
big question.
How much of it is tariff? So let me say that it is
Spam donated 14 South African rand through a super chat. Spam, anchor emoji. Spam, anchor emoji. Spam.
Goods inflation moved up pretty significantly in the first 2 months of the year. Trying to track that back to actual tariff increases, given what was tariffed and what was not, very, very challenging. So some of it, the answer is clearly some of it. A good part of it is coming from tariffs, but we'll be working, and so will other forecasters, to try to find the best possible way to separate non-tariff inflation from tariff inflation. In terms of your sort of looking through question, too soon to say about that. As I've mentioned, it can be the case that it's appropriate sometimes to look through inflation if it's going to go away quickly without action by us, if it's transitory, and that can be the case in the case of tariff inflation. I think that would depend on the tariff inflation moving through fairly quickly, and it would depend critically as well on inflation expectations being well anchored, longer-term inflation expectations being well anchored.
Well, I guess I'm looking at the out years here, and the fact that the policy path doesn't change at all, and inflation is unchanged in the out years also. Doesn't that imply you all have basically decided that there is no signal here, and that it's just we're back to transitory again?
So I think that's kind of the base case, but as I said, we really can't know that. We're going to have to see how things actually work out. And the fact that there wasn't much change, I think that's partly because you see weaker growth but higher inflation. They kind of offset, and also, frankly, a little bit of inertia when it comes to changing something in this highly uncertain environment. I think there is a level of inertia where you just say, maybe I'll stay where I am.
Thank you. Colby Smith with the New York
Great
Times.
answer.
You just described inflation expectations as well anchored, but has your confidence in that assessment changed at all, given the increase in certain measures and the high degree of uncertainty expressed by businesses, households, and forecasters?
So on inflation expectations, of course, we do monitor inflation expectations very, very carefully, basically every source we can find, and short-term, long-term, households, businesses, forecasters, market-based. And I think the picture broadly is this. You do see increases widely in short-term inflation expectations, and people who fill out surveys and answer questionnaires are pointing to tariffs about that. If you look in the survey world, if you look a little further out, you really don't see much in the way of an increase. Longer-term inflation expectations are mostly well anchored. If you look at the New York, for example, then you have market-based, and it's the same pattern. People in markets are pricing in break-evens. Some higher inflation over the next year must be related to tariffs. We know from the surveys. But if you look out 5 years or the 5-year forward, you'll see that break-evens are either flat or actually slightly down in the case of the longer-term one. So we look at that, and we will be watching all of it very, very carefully. We do not take anything for granted. It's at the very heart of our framework, anchored inflation expectations, but that's what you see right now.
And how much weight do you put on the deterioration in consumer confidence surveys? You said recently that this is perhaps not the best indication of future spending, but I'm curious, what you think is behind this deterioration and to what extent it could be a leading indicator for hard data.
So let's start with the hard data. You know, we do see pretty solid hard data still. So growth looks like it's maybe moderating a bit, consumer spending moderating a bit, but still at a solid pace. Unemployment's 4.1%. Job creation most recently has been at a healthy level.
The market likes this stability.
Has started to move up now, we think partly in response to tariffs, and there may be a delay in further progress over the course of this year. So that's the hard data. Overall, it's a solid picture. The survey data, both household and businesses, show significant rise in uncertainty and significant concerns about downside risks. So how do we think about that? And that is the question. As I mentioned the other day, as you pointed out, the relationship between survey data and actual economic activity hasn't been very tight. There have been plenty of times where people are saying very downbeat things about the economy and then going out and buying a new car. But we don't know that will be the case here. We will be watching very carefully for signs of weakness in the real data. Of course we will. But, given where we are, we think our policy's in a good place to react to what comes, and we think that the right thing to do is to wait here for greater clarity about what the economy is doing.
Nick Timmeros of the Wall Street Journal. Chair Powell, Chair Greenspan once defined price stability as an environment in which inflation is so low and stable over time that it doesn't materially enter into the decisions of households and firms.
Can you say that today, that we have that price stability, that households and businesses are ignoring price growth?
When you see buy in advance psychology, big changes in inventories, and surveys that show consumers, at least in the short run, expect higher inflation.
So I do like that definition a lot. In fact, I used it at the recent conference where I spoke. So I think a world where people can make their daily economic decisions in businesses and they're not having to think about the possibility of significantly high inflation. We know inflation will bounce around. That is price stability. You know, I think we were getting closer and closer to that. I wouldn't say we were at that. Inflation was running around 2.5% for some time. I do think with the arrival of the tariff inflation, further progress may be delayed. The SEP doesn't really show further downward progress on inflation this year, and that's really due to the tariffs coming in. So delayed, but if you look at our forecasts, we do see ourselves getting back into the low twos in 26 and then down to 2 by 27, of course, highly uncertain. So I see progress having been made toward that, and then progress in the future. I think that progress is probably delayed for the time being.
If that's the case, why are there cuts in the SEP for 2025?
So again, people wrote down 2 cuts the last time, and they look at they wrote down meaningful decline in growth from 2.1 to 1.7 in 2025, a tick up in the unemployment rate, so not much there, but core inflation up by 0.3. And so those kind of balance each other out. So people, not everybody, but on balance, people wrote down similar numbers. The changes aren't that big. The other factor, though, as I mentioned, is just really high uncertainty. What would you write down? I mean, it's really hard to know how this is going to work out. And again, we think our policy is in a good place. We think it's a good place where we can move in the direction where we need to. But in the meantime, it's really appropriate to wait for further clarity. And of course, the costs of doing that, given that the economy is still solid, are very low.
Edward.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Edward Lawrence with Fox Business. So with near 4% unemployment rate, that should be low enough to bring people in from the sidelines in terms of hiring. But we're seeing the hiring rates have been stuck at 2023, 2024 levels. So what's going on there?
Yeah, so that's a feature has been for some time a feature of this labor market. You have pretty high participation accounting for aging. You've got wages that are consistent with 2% inflation, assuming that we're going to keep getting relatively high productivity. We've got unemployment, pretty close to its natural level. But the hiring rate is quite low, but so is the layoff rate. So you look at initial claims or layoffs. So you're not seeing people losing their jobs, but you're seeing that people who don't have a job having to wait longer and longer. And, you know, the question is, which way does that break? If we were to see a meaningful increase in layoffs, then that would probably translate fairly quickly into unemployment, because people are, you know, it's not a big hiring market. We've been watching that, and it's just not in the data. It hasn't happened. What we've had is a low firing, low hiring situation, and it seems to be in balance now for the last 6, 7, 8 months. That's where we are. There's healthy levels of job creation too. So overall, it's a labor market that's in balance, and we watch it very carefully.
So then, have we seen the new administration's policies in the economic numbers yet? And when do you anticipate that happening?
In labor or in other?
In labor and inflation, just across the economy, have we started to see the new policies take effect in the numbers?
Only in a kind of an early way. I mean, it's only been a few months, right? For example, the layoffs that are happening here are, they're certainly meaningful to the people involved, and they may be meaningful to a particular neighborhood or region or area, but at the national level, they're not significant yet. But we don't know. We don't know how far that will go. We'll find out much more. I mentioned that you saw we've had two very strong goods inflation readings in the last 2 months, which is very unexpected. I think hard to trace it to specific tariffs, but it must have something to do with, it's either noise and it'll come back, and that's very possible too. But if it is persistent, then it must be to do with people buying ahead of tariffs or raising prices ahead of tariffs and things like that. Those kinds of things happen, and they're very, very hard to capture because so much of it is indirect. A great example is their washing machines were tariffed in the last round of tariffs, and prices went up. But prices also went up on dryers, which were not tariffed. So the manufacturers just kind of followed the crowd and raised it. So things happen very indirectly, and so there'll be a lot of work done in coming months to try to trace all that through. But ultimately, though, it's too soon to be seeing significant effects in economic data.
Craig Torres from Bloomberg News. Thanks, Chair Powell. You said transitory price increases from tariffs are the base case. Transitory is the base case. Wasn't it the base case last time? And didn't the FOMC forecast lower inflation ahead last time? And wasn't the lesson that it quickly got into services, haircuts, daycare, everything else? And so I'm just wondering why the 9 aren't taking that on board and are cutting twice this year.
When you say last time, are you talking about the last
pandemic? Yes, during the pandemic.
Because you could have been talking about the last time there were tariffs, in which case the inflation was transitory. Yeah, no, of course we're well aware of that, and it's still the truth. If there's an inflationary impulse that's going to go away on its own, it's not the right policy to tighten policy, because by the time you have your effect, you're in effect by design, you are lowering economic activity and employment. And if that's not necessary, you don't want to do it. In real time, as we know, it's hard to make that judgment. And we're well aware, of what happened, obviously, with the pandemic inflation. But I mean, we have to look at this as a different situation. There are differences and similarities. I mean, it's a different time. We haven't had real price stability fully reestablished yet, and we have to keep that in mind. And we hear that people are very reluctant to take on to allow prices to go up. At the same time, we hear that businesses are intending to pass many of these prices through. So it's hard to say how this is going to work out.
Steve Leisman, CNBC. Thanks for taking my question, Mr. Chairman. The Bank of Canada, in its last policy statement, said monetary policy cannot offset the impacts of a trade war. What it can and must do is ensure that higher prices do not lead to ongoing inflation. I wonder if that kind of reflects your own sense of prioritization faced with higher prices and weaker growth, that the idea is you have to take care of inflation.
So we have two goals, right? We have maximum employment and price stability, and we have to balance those. And there can be situations in which they're in tension, right? And we actually have a provision in our consensus statement that says what we should do in that case. That's a very challenging situation for any central bank and certainly for us. And so what we say that we'll do is we'll look how far each of those two goals is, each of those two measures is from its goal, and then we'll ask how long we think it might take to get back to the goal for each of them, and we'll make a judgment because our tools work in one direction. We're either tightening or loosening. So it's a very challenging situation. Let me say we don't have that situation right now. That's not where the economy is at all. It's also not where the forecast is. I don't know any mainstream forecast that really show significant problems like that.
Well, just to follow up, yesterday the UCLA Anderson forecast said there's high probability of a recession. Where do you stand on whether or not the slowdown you're seeing creates a higher probability or concern that you may have on recession? Thank you.
There's always an unconditional possibility of a recession. It might be broadly in the range of 1 in 4 at any time. If you look back through the years, it could be within 12 months a 1 in 4 chance of a recession. So the question is whether this current situation, those possibilities are elevated. I will say this. We don't make such a forecast. If you look at outside forecasts, forecasters have generally raised, a number of them have raised their possibility of a recession somewhat, but still at relatively moderate levels, still in the region of the traditional, because they were extremely low. If you go back 2 months, people were saying that the likelihood of a recession was extremely low. So has moved up, but it's not high.
S&P 500 crushing it. Oh, yes, I'm crushing it again.
As you know, I guess last night, President Trump fired 2 members of the Federal Trade Commission, an independent agency, and this could cause the kind of legal fight about the administration's power to fire independent people. If those firings stand, is that a threat to the Fed's independence?
No, it's not.
Do the same thing to the Fed board?
No, he can't fire Jerome Powell.
I think I did answer that question in this very room some time ago, and I no desire to change that answer and have nothing new for you on that today.
Well, maybe I'll have another mulligan. As you know, I wanted to go back to the consumer sentiment, particularly the inflation expectations in the University of Michigan survey. In the summer of 2022, you cited the rise in the long-term inflation expectations in that index as the reason that you went big with a 3/4 point hike. So I know you've talked about all the different measures now, but you seem to not be placing the same weight on that. And so I'm just wondering, are you dismissing that, what we saw last week from the University of Michigan, or does that carry the same weight as it did in the past?
So I mentioned it back then, but in no way did I place a huge weight on it. I think that was a ex post story, but it wasn't the case. That was a preliminary reading, and so is this. And it's also, this is that Michigan, the one you're referring to, the longer term thing. We look at it. We don't dismiss data that we don't like. We force ourselves to look at it, but it is an outlier compared to market-based and compared to other survey-based assessments of longer-run inflation.
Michigan report is rubbish.
And I would just say we look at all of them, and that one's kind of an outlier, but nonetheless we take notice of it.
Thank you.
Michael McKee from Bloomberg Radio and
I
Television.
took notice. I bought the dip. Thank you very much.
There is a worry on Wall Street that when you say you want to study the net effect of the fiscal policies we may see on the economy, that you would end up waiting too long and be behind the curve in responding to any downturn. How can you reassure people that you can spot a problem early enough unless you decide to be preemptive?
Yeah, look, we're aware of we're well aware of how things are going to evolve and the timeframes and all that. And we will use our tools to foster achievement of our goals to the best we can. And of course, we're going to try to be timely with that. For right now, the hard data are pretty solid. We are obviously aware of the soft sentiment data and high uncertainty. And we're watching that carefully, and we think it's a good time for us to wait for further clarity before we consider adjusting our policy stance.
Do you think it's going to be hard to get clarity in a government by tweet? I mean, do you have a feeling that at some point you actually will have a forecast you can trust?
Yes, I think we will. It's hard to say when that will be. these decisions are going to be made, and they're going to be implemented, and then we'll know. At that point, we'll know what the decisions are, and we'll have to make assessments then about the implications for the economy. Those things will happen. A lot of them will happen over the course of, in coming months, certainly over the course of this year, and we'll be adapting as we go.
Rachel.
Hi, Chair Powell. Rachel Siegel from the Washington Post. Thank you for taking our questions. At the beginning, you were talking about separating the signal from the noise and tariff inflation from non-tariff inflation. Can you walk us through what that looked like over the last couple of months, if there were specifics from the January meeting to now that helped you make those distinctions?
So when we say separating the signal from the noise, that's just a way of saying that things are highly uncertain and that you're reading about developments. The news is full of developments of tariffs being put on and taken off and things like that. Some of that is noise in the sense that it's not really telling you anything. You're trying to extract a signal from that, and the signal is what's going to be the effect on economic activity, on inflation, on employment, and all those things. So that's really when we say signal and noise. Sorry, the second thing was?
Or similarly for tariff inflation, non-tariff inflation, ways that you're making the distinction.
That's sort of a special case of that. The idea being, and I do think that the first 2 months of this year are a great example. You've got high readings for goods inflation after a string of readings that average close to zero, and you have to ask, it's coming during tariffs, but you can't. It's very hard to actually scientifically go back and match up those increases and say, yes, I can prove that that's from tariffs, but it kind of has to be to some extent. Plus noise. There can be idiosyncratic readings in various categories which will shortly reverse, and that happens too, and that could be a big piece of it. I think we'll know. In a couple of months, we'll know whether those were where that really was from. But that's another case where I think it's going to be very, very challenging to unpack the inflation that we see over the course of this year and be able to say with confidence how much of that came from inflation and how much of it, from tariffs and how much of it didn't. But that's what we'll be doing. We'll be doing that, and so will everybody else, and we'll all be trying very hard to make that assessment. And I'm sure we will make a lot of progress on that, and we already have. But it's going to be a challenge.
Do you have a sense yet as to what, in your mind, would make something cross from noise to a signal, what that threshold would look like?
It would depend on what we're talking about. I mean, obviously, you're looking for direct evidence that particular pieces of inflation are or are clearly not caused by tariffs. For example, if it's something that was, in the service sector that was far away from anything that's tariffed, you might think, okay, well, that is, like, frankly, housing services inflation, which, by the way, has been behaving well, which for some time was kind of our problem. Now it's slow, but it's definitely, moving down in a very good way. It's more now with goods and to some extent with non-housing services inflation.
Thanks for taking our questions, Chair Powell. Kelly O'Grady, CBS News. So consumer sentiment has dipped dramatically, but you say the economy and the hard data is still solid. What is your message to consumers that clearly disagree and don't feel that strength? Because the hard data they're looking at is their grocery bill.
Okay, so a couple things.
Look at Virgin Galactic's volume, short squeeze, full effect.
Really. There was inflation in 21, 2, and 3, and prices went up. The current level, it's not the change in prices. They're unhappy, and they're not wrong to be unhappy that prices went up quite a bit, and they're paying a lot for those things. So I think that is the fundamental fact, and has been for a long time, a couple of years, why people are unhappy with the economy. It's not that the economy is not growing. It's not that inflation is really high. It's not that unemployment is high. It's none of those things. We have, 4.1% unemployment. We've got 2% growth, and it's a pretty good economy. But people are unhappy because of the price level, and we completely understand and accept that.
And just to follow up, why are you still projecting 2 rate cuts this year if your own projections show inflation higher for longer? Does that mean you see a slowdown in economic growth as a real threat?
So I think remember we came into this with, at the December meeting, the median was 2 cuts, the median was. And so you come in and you see, broadly speaking, weaker growth but higher inflation. and they kind of balance each other out. So you
Virgin Galactic
and
full short squeeze
really,
happening live right now.
Only a 1/10 change. So there's just not a big change in the forecast. There really isn't. Modest, meaningfully higher growth and meaningfully higher inflation, which call for different responses, right? So they cancel each other out, and people just said, okay, I'm going to stay here. But the second factor is it's so highly uncertain. It is just, we're sitting here thinking, and we obviously are in touch with businesses and households all over the country. We have an extraordinary network of contacts that come in through the reserve banks and put in the beige book, and also through contacts at the board. And we get all that, and we do understand that sentiment has fallen off pretty sharply, but economic activity has not yet. And so we're watching carefully. So I would tell people that the economy seems to be healthy. We understand that sentiment is quite negative at this time, and that probably has to do with turmoil at the beginning of an administration that's making big changes in areas of policy, and that's probably part of it. I do think the underlying unhappiness people have about the economy, though, is more about the price level.
Victoria. Hi, Victoria Guido with Politico. I wanted to ask, first of all, if you could clarify. You were talking about how tariffs were a good part of the uptick in the inflation forecast, and I was just wondering what that specifically refers to. Is that the tariffs that have already been put in place? Is that anticipating some of the tariffs that might be coming on April 2nd? And then also, if you wouldn't mind, talking a little more about the balance sheet decision and what drove that. Did that have anything to do with expectations of how the debt ceiling, raising the debt ceiling, might affect the reserve supply?
Yeah. So in the SEP, you'll see that there's not further progress on core inflation this year. We're kind of flatlining, going sideways. We don't ask people to write down how much of this is from tariffs and how much of it is not. But some of it is from tariffs. We know that tariffs are coming in. We know that they're probably already, all forecasters have tariff inflation affecting core PCE inflation, core CPI inflation this year, without exception. I'm not aware of an exception. So it's in there. I can't tell you how much of that it is. In terms of the balance sheet, so yeah, I think, I guess the way I'd say it is, it was the flows in and out of the TGA that got us thinking about it. But as we thought about it, we really came to the view that this was a good time to make the move that we made. And broadly, committee that came around to the view that we would do the same thing we'd already done, which is I guess in June. Was it June? Whenever it was, we lowered the pace of QT, and we're just going to do that again. We're going to cut it roughly in half. And the sense of that is, if you're cutting the pace of QT roughly in half, then the runway is probably doubled. Okay, so it's going to be slower for longer. And people really like that. People thought that's a good idea. It's like a plane. You can think of it like a plane coming in for a landing. As we get closer, and we by the way, we still think that reserves are abundant, although you begin to see some of the things we look at begin to react a little bit, but we still think that they're abundant. And of course, now the TGA is emptying out, so reserves are higher now, so you can't really see the underlying signal. So we came around to the view, and it had a lot of appeal, and so we did it. It has no implications at all for monetary policy. It has no implications at all for the ultimate size of the balance sheet. It isn't sending a signal in any hidden way that you can try to tease out. It's just not there. We're basically, it's very consistent with our plans and our practices that we've published and that we've followed since we began this, what is a very successful, rundown of the balance sheet. Again, the second time that we've slowed the pace, and we've said that we would stop when we were somewhat above the level we judge as ample. And clearly we're not at that level yet, but we're going to be approaching it more slowly. It's a common sense kind of a thing, and it had pretty broad appeal, I will say.
Claire Jones, Financial Times. You said in January, Chair Powell, that inflation expectations remained well anchored. Would you still say they remain well anchored today? And just to reiterate the question others have asked, if the
was I right or was I right to buy the dip, go all in on cash and margin? Was I right or was I right?
So when we talk about
it's easy to make money. The hard part is to keep it
well anchored. We're talking about longer run.
It's just numbers. Powell's done a great job today.
They really haven't moved much. I mean, if at all. There's one reading that everyone's focusing on that it's higher, but the other survey readings and the market-based readings all show relatively, well anchored inflation expectations. You would expect that expectations of inflation over the course of a year would move around because conditions change, and in this case, we have tariffs coming in. We don't know how big, there's so many things we don't know, but we kind of know there are going to be tariffs, and they tend to bring growth down. They tend to bring inflation up in the first instance. So I would say, I'm not dismissing what we're seeing in short-term inflation expectations. We, as I mentioned, follow that very carefully. But when we say expectations are well anchored, we're really looking at longer terms, 5 year and out, and there's really no story.
110 my arse.
5 years.
I'm back up to $300,000 again.
Or in surveys, but we'll watch it. I mean, we're not we're not going to miss any evidence that longer term or medium term
over $300,000 once again
are moving
from $5,000.
Hi, Chair Powell. Neil Irwin with Axios. Treasury Secretary Bessent has observed that a large share of job growth over the last couple of years has been in what he calls government or government-adjacent sectors, healthcare, education. Do you agree that there's some weakness in underlying private job growth, and do you see the composition of job growth as something that has policy implications?
So that has been the case. We talked about that over the course of the last year. There were some good number of months and times when a lot of the job creation was concentrated in, educational institutions, healthcare, state governments, things like that. There were also times when private sector job growth has been moving.
You want a rocket? I'll give you a rocket.
They're all jobs, but and remember, we're at very low unemployment for quite a time now. So I think it's a good labor market, but it's something that we monitor carefully. From our standpoint, employment is employment. But the elected government is entitled to have, we don't have policies that address different kinds of employment, but the elected government has a different role, and they can have those.
Can I do a quick QT question? Does the committee envision at some point tapering the MBS runoff as well?
I think tapering it, I don't know. There's no plan to do that. At a certain point, we'll stop runoff. And we may or may not stop MBS runoff, though, because, we want to stop runoff in net at some point. We haven't made any decisions about that. We want the MBS to roll off our balance sheet. We really strongly desire that. So, but we haven't made any decisions about that. I think we'd look carefully at letting that keep going, but hold the overall size of the balance sheet in, constant at some point, a point that we're not out yet.
Simon.
Simon Rabinovich with The Economist. Thank you, Chair Powell. Several times today you've said that you feel you're well positioned to wait for greater clarity. At the same time, you could point to quite a few growth risks at the moment. We've seen a stock market that's gone quite wobbly, rapidly cooling housing sales, plunge in confidence surveys. Today, not only did the S&P mark down the growth outlook, 17 of 19 see risks to the downside. So my question is, how confident are you that you're well positioned, or is that one more thing that you're uncertain about?
I'm confident that we're well positioned in the sense that we're well positioned to move in the direction we'll need to move. I don't know anyone who has a lot of confidence in their forecast. I mean, the point is we are at we're at a place where we can cut, or we can hold what is clearly a restrictive stance of policy, and that's what I mean. I think that's well positioned. Forecasting right now, forecasting is always very, very hard, and in the current situation, I just think uncertainty is remarkably high.
And sorry, standing here today, would you be surprised to pivot back towards rate cuts in May?
I think we're not going to be in any hurry to move, and as I mentioned, I think we're well positioned to wait for further clarity, and not in any hurry.
Matt.
Matt Egan with CNN. Thank you, Chair Powell. The Fed statement released today removed the line that previously said the committee judges that the risks to achieving its employment and inflation goals are roughly in balance. Can you explain the decision to remove that line? Does it mean that you're now more concerned about inflation or about employment?
Actually, it does not mean either of those things. You know, sometimes with language, it lives its useful life, and then we take it off, and that was the case here. There's really not meant to be any signal here. Over the past year, you know, conveying the sense of the balance of risks was important, that they be in balance or close to being in balance. That was useful as we approached liftoff, if you remember, but we're past that. Or sorry, no, beginning to cut. So we just took it out. I actually would say that the more important thing now about risks, and this is in the pages like 10, 11, 12 of the SEP, if you look, participants widely raised their estimate of the risks to our uncertainty, but also of the risks to growth and our employment and inflation mandates. That's a more salient point now than whether they're in balance.
Just on the stock market has obviously declined significantly since the Fed last met. Are you concerned at all about some of the market volatility having a real economic impact in terms of hurting business spending or consumer spending, especially among higher income households?
So financial conditions matter to us because financial conditions are the main channel to the real economy through which our policy has its effects. So they're important. But what matters from a Fed standpoint for the macro economy is material changes to overall financial conditions that are persistent, that last for a while, long enough to actually affect economic activity. So that's what we're looking for. I'm not going to opine on the appropriate level of any market, equity, debt, commodities, or anything like that. And I would just point you to the bigger picture again. You know, the real economy, the hard data, are still in reasonably good shape. It's the soft data, it's the surveys that are showing, significant concerns, downside risks, and those kind of things. We don't dismiss that. We're watching it carefully, but, we don't want to get ahead of that. We want to focus on the hard data. If that's going to affect the hard data, we should know it very quickly, and of course we'll understand that. But you don't see that yet.
Jennifer.
Thank you, Chair Powell. Jennifer Schonberger with Yahoo Finance. As you look to navigate higher inflation and lower growth, the Fed has talked about heeding the lessons from the 1970s. Is the Fed willing to have a recession if it means breaking the back of inflation?
Well, fortunately, we're in a situation where we have seen inflation move down from, higher levels to pretty close to 2%, while the unemployment rate has remained very consistent with full employment, 4.1%. So we now have inflation coming in from an exogenous source, but the underlying inflationary picture before that was, basically 2.5% inflation, I would say, and 2% growth and 4% unemployment. So that's what we did. That's what together the economy accomplished. So I don't see any reason to think that we're looking at a replay of the 70s or anything like that. Inflation, underlying inflation is still running in the twos, with probably a little bit of a pickup associated with tariffs. So I don't think we're facing, I wouldn't say we're in a situation that's remotely comparable to that.
And last month, the idea of a Doge dividend was proposed, which would send $5,000 checks to every taxpayer from Doge savings. President Trump and Elon Musk have supported this. There's reports there could be a bill introduced on Capitol Hill. What impact might that have on household savings and spending in terms of your growth and outlook?
I'm buying $5,000 of the S&P 500, 100%.
Political ideas or fiscal policy for that matter. So I'm gonna pass on that one. Thank you.
Daniel.
Hi, Chair Powell. Daniel Avis from Agence France Presse. You mentioned that tariffs are already having at least some impact on inflation. I'm just wondering how you and your colleagues on the FOMC have been thinking about the possibility of retaliatory tariffs from other countries, especially with April the 2nd coming up. Was it something you considered during this meeting? Thanks.
So since the very beginning, we've had kind of a placeholder. The staff has a placeholder of a range of possible outcomes from tariffs and from trade policy generally, and they generally assume full retaliation in those, and so that's kind of baked into the numbers. What happens? It will be complicated, and there will be some retaliation and some not, and all that. But ultimately, they're trying to, with the placeholder, give us a broad sense of what this might look like. When we actually know the specifics, we'll be able to have still uncertain, but better informed forecasts. So yes, that's in there.
Last question goes to Jean.
Hi, Chair Powell. Jean Young with MNI Market News. Had a couple questions on the balance sheet change that you made. So the minutes had initially described your discussion on slowing QT as temporary until the debt ceiling is resolved. But from what you said earlier, it doesn't sound like there's a desire to kind of regain the pace of QT that we have at the moment after the debt ceiling is resolved. Is that the case?
Yeah, so we looked at pausing and we looked at slowing, and really people came together very strongly behind slowing, not pausing, for a variety of reasons. And so people really came to be, pretty strongly in favor of this move. It slows down the path and probably lengthens it, doubles it effectively by slowing by half. That people thought that's a good place to be. It'll help us assure that this path is a smooth one as we get closer and closer to that. So that's how that came about.
Well, I guess my question is more, was that meant to be a temporary measure during the debt ceiling episode, or?
It was the TGA flows, Treasury General Account flows, that got us thinking about this. But the more we thought about it, we came around to this. And it is, yes, it was provoked. The original discussion was provoked by that. But I think what we came up with, though, was broader than that and different than that. It does address that issue, but it really is also, it fits in really nicely with our principles and our plans and the things we've done before and the things we said we would do. So that's why, pretty strong support. I just say it's nothing to do with monetary policy, nothing to do with the size of the balance sheet. It's just kind of a common sense adjustment as you get closer and closer. Let's slow down a little bit again, and that way we'll be more and more confident that we're getting where we need to get. You can take our time getting there. We're shrinking the balance sheet every month, and we think it was a good play, and as I mentioned, well supported. Thanks very much.
There we go. What a great report. Let's open up the phone lines, and you can call in and have your say today. I think this was a great report. Fantastic. Exactly what we wanted. Now we get a bit of selling. We feel confident. If it does go below where we were this morning, I've got 9 shares of the S&P to buy. If not, I'm just paying up my margin. We got the bottom. That's it. We don't need to worry about it anymore. So let's open up the phone line. You can be live on the show. Let's open it up right now. There you go. I'm going to give everyone the link. If you are a member and you'd like to call in and have your say about what you just heard from Jerome Powell, there is the live phone in. So live video phone in. Okay. There you go. If you want to call in, you've got to be a member. And before you call in, put in the chat, you are calling in, and your name that you're calling in by, so I can see who you are on YouTube. Then I can answer the call. I will not answer the call for anyone that does not put their name in the chat before they call in. All right, okay, and you could get your account banned if you try to call in and you are not who you say you are. All right, so pin the message to the top. There you go. The phone line is open. I'd love your thoughts and opinions on Jerome Powell's performance today. Are you happy? I can tell you I'm very, very happy. XRP, there was no mention of crypto today in the press conference. I thought there would be some questions. There was nothing at all. That's disappointing, but it's up today anyway because of Brad Garlinghouse. We expect to get some more clarification tonight. Virgin Galactic is short squeezing. Now, someone mentioned if it's going up like this, is it going to dump? Well, real investors bought at the bottom. FOMO chasers are buying in now. But no, not necessarily. MSK did say yes, it would rally and then dump. Not necessarily, because remember, we are 98% undervalued. Just like today, we didn't get a rate cut, but the market rallied. Why? Because Jerome Powell is strong, in charge, he's confident. He wasn't undermining Trump, but he wasn't being pushed around either. It was a great report. And the only reason why the markets have gone up today is not because we got a rate cut. Nothing of the sort. We got a rally today because Wall Street feel confident that the Fed is in charge, not a political leader or a president. That's what they want. They want the Fed to be in charge. We've got stability. We've got a bottom, and we bought the bottom. This is fantastic. So yeah, if we sell off now and profit, I just buy some more because I'm even more confident now of being able. So if it drops down, it's got to drop down about 4% now for me to be able to buy lower. I don't see it happening, but if it does, I'm ready to buy another 9 shares of the S&P. If it doesn't, all I'm doing is paying off margin, and that's it, bringing my margin down. I don't have to keep buying. At some point, got to pay off the margin. So I've bought enough, $300,000 now invested from $5,000. I am very happy. So if you want to call in, the phone line is open. It all goes through a browser. You don't require any software whatsoever. The link is in the chat. If you are phoning in, just put your name in the chat before you call in of who you're what name you're using, and I will answer the call to you. I'm in Discord loaded. Do I just type Discord into the chat? I'm in the Discord loaded. You've got a green badge. I cannot give you access to Discord yet because you need a 1-month badge. You have to have a 1-month badge, so you have to renew your badge. Or if someone donated it to you, you've got to renew that in 1 month, or it might be 1 day to go. I don't know. But when your badge turns blue, if you renew it, then I can then you can give me your Discord username and I can upgrade you. But I can't do it now, loaded, because you are only a green badge member. You are new at the moment. You need to be 1 month. However, if you'd like to access Discord straight away, you want to get access to Sensei Crypto for all the charts. You want to talk to Ed Nevius about scalp trading. You want to talk to me live on the show. You can do that. Absolutely right. There is the Discord. You can go premium for a couple of bucks and you can be in straight away, and I'll accept your friend request from you straight away. Joseph is calling in. Please put you are calling in, not just your name. I can see Joseph. All right. Okay. Let me add you into spot number 8. There we go. We've got our first guest in. Please, if you are calling in, before you call in, go into the chat and tell me you're calling in, or I'm in the green room, or I'm on the phone, I'm on the call, and give me your name that you're calling in with so I know who it is, and that way I can bring you into the call. So he's our first guest. Let's bring our first guest in today. Here he is. This is Joseph. Good afternoon, Joseph. How are you? Did you like what you heard from Jerome Powell today?
Yes, I did. And you know what I did? I passed on your information to another investor at work. And sure enough, you said space was going to go up. It did. So I look like a genius, and I got to give it to you.
You're very welcome. We've been covering the stock for 4 years now. It's in the middle of a short squeeze, which is very, very exciting. You either trade it, momentum, if you want to take some profit, get out of it, you've made some money, make a quick 10%. Remember, nothing wrong with that. That's what you make in a year on the S&P. Why not? Or you can simply follow it up. It's entirely up to you, but we can see it going to $100 if Delta is successful, and there's no reason why it wouldn't be. But congratulations to you. How do you feel about Jerome Powell's performance today? The stock market rallied without a rate cut. What do you think about that?
I'm a little, I don't know. I'm kind of like, it's great, but I don't know why I have this doom and gloom. I don't know if it's the media telling me this and stuff like that, but it's great. But the media is telling me all this is, it's going to crash and all these.
Well, of course it does. Give me a news channel that gives you any good news. Good news doesn't sell. Auntie Doris crossing the street to rescue her cat from a tree doesn't make the news. But wars, death, doom, gloom sells, right? The fact of the matter is, PPI was good. CPI was good. GDP was good. Cooling, yeah. Unemployment in the United States is good. Inflation is coming down. We're now below 20 times earnings, which is always a buy time for the S&P 500. The last time we had under 200 moving average, which was back in, I forget the date now, whatever it was, I covered it the other day. Jerome Powell came on and was bullish, and the market went crazy for a few months. Well, they're doing the same thing again. Every indication of numbers don't lie. They're not emotional. They're not political. They don't give a damn. They just tell you the numbers. Everything here tells you everything is good. Yes, there's an uncertainty, but what you heard from the Fed, well, uncertainty from the president, but the Fed, they've got their hand on the wheel. They're taking control. They know what they're doing, and I like it. Oh, Jenny B is calling in. Let's put Jenny B in spot number 9. It's Jenny B's birthday today, if I remember correctly. Jenny, how are you, Jenny?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. How are you?
I'm great. It's my birthday.
I know it is. Happy birthday, Jenny. We're loving it. We'll do happy birthday for you. So look at this, folks. As predicted, there it is. There is the sell-off, people taking profits. But now, you know, the Fed are in charge. So hopefully you followed what I was doing. I didn't buy a single share through the rally today. Not at all. I'm waiting for it to go lower. So as we get the S&P 500 around the 110, if we do, I will buy 9 shares of it. If not, I won't. I'll just be paying down my margin. So if you're calling in, Zach Zate, it doesn't, Zach Zate, you keep missing this. It's really important. If you are calling in, Zach, you need to go into the chat and tell me you're calling in. I had Zach Zate calling me earlier. You could be a scammer or a bot like earlier. They're even paying to troll me now. So Zach Zate, if it's you in the chat, tell me it's you and I will let you in. I can't let you in until you tell me it's you. Tim Rogers calling in. Okay, Tim Rogers is calling in. Let's bring Tim onto the show in guest spot number 5. There he is. Let me just fix your camera, Tim. You're a bit zoomed in. Let me just pan you out. There you go. Tim, lovely. I'm waiting for Zach Zay. He's not quite getting the grasp of this yet. You have to let me know. I've got a bit of audio coming through from Jenny, so I'm just going to mute you at the moment. Something's bleeding somewhere, but I'll bring you in each time I need you, but you've got an extra sound source coming in from somewhere. Tim, what do you think about today? The market rallied, selling off a bit now. Get ready to buy some more if it goes below that 110. Sorry, the 510.
I totally agree with you. It was a good speech by Powell.
Yeah.
I think overall, the market is just looking for stability and an adult in the room. That's what Wall Street needed to hear from Powell. They needed to hear that he wasn't being persuaded by Trump and the administration, and they just needed a leader. And he came across for the first time as the adult, but a strong leader, and there was no fear in his commentary. So I was very pleased.
Absolutely. I'm really pleased with that as well. I'm so happy that I've been buying the dips all the way down. I didn't buy the bottom, of course. No one knows what the bottom is. But it doesn't matter because in a year from now, I won't give a damn where the bottom was. I'll just be up and that's all that matters. And because I never sold the ones I bought 14 months ago now, 15 months ago, they're up like 30, 40%. So those ones don't matter anyway. So that's propping the whole thing up. So today I got paid 2 days in advance because Robinhood now allows you to do a payday 2 days before you get paid. So I dropped in some money today just in case we would get this drop. It didn't go low enough because I've already got enough. If I'm going to buy more, I've got to buy it lower than where I bought before. Otherwise, you could argue, well, why didn't you just buy more last week? You know, pointless. So, because at some point I have to bring my margin down. I can't just keep buying and buying if I'm never going to sell, right? So, good day.
Still have opportunities. Opportunities will always be there for long-term investors. So we don't have to invest everything just today. You know, you wait for the opportunity.
Absolutely. I mean, and this is a good point. I'm glad you're mentioning this because there you go. It is Zach Zate calling in. All right, I just needed to make sure. So let's put Zach Zate in spot number 6. There you go, Zach Zate. There he is.
Is there anybody out there in the dark?
He's getting.
Oh, there we are. Hey guys.
There you go. You got to make sure that you let me know you're calling in the chat. I don't know it's you. A troll might think I'll call myself Zaxay. He won't be the first time. All right. So there you go. This is great to see you.
I'm a troll.
You look pretty real to me, but you never know. I don't, but you need to realize now I've changed security. I don't see who people are until I admit them in. It's not like before where I could see you. I don't see you now until you tell me. It stops me sitting here getting annoyed by my weirdo who sits there with his dirty black socks on showing me porn on a video channel. I've been living with that for months now. So now I'm glad that's gone away and I can focus on talking to good folks, not some clown.
Very good. So annoying. Why people even do that? What's the problem?
Well, now they're paying to do it. Did you see that? I had 2 super chats. So now I'm going to get paid to be trolled. That's okay. You want to pay me? I'll just keep upping the limit before it shows it on the screen. $10 a troll.
Fantastic.
Have a go. Fill your boots, mate. Fill your boots. Anyways, it's great. I don't mind this. But this is a good day today. You must be very, 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 very pleased at the performance of Virgin Galactic tonight. It is now up 16%. We are in the midst of a short squeeze. Tim Rogers, he's also in this. Guys, you must be loving this now. Everything I said over 4 years, I have delivered. I've been covering it. I've covered every single flight, every single piece of news, every earnings call. And when it was bad, I was there. When it was good, I'm there again. And here we are. Look at it today. Short squeezing. We've got volume now of 5 point. In fact, I bet it's more than that. Let me just check that. The volume. I bet it's more. 6 million. So we are 300% the average. So we are in the middle of a short squeeze today. So now, some of you are watching this going, really, really, really? So is this just going to keep going up? Yes. It can go to $10. It can go to $10 now. Should you buy it? Only if you understand what all the other investors understand. Don't be a momentum trader. A momentum trader is gambling and is all luck. And at some point it sells off, not because it's not going to continue, but people take profits. And then you'll go, oh, I bought it at $5 and now it's gone down to $4. Why didn't I buy it at $2 or $1.85? Well, that's right. The real investors, that's what they did. They're now enjoying the short squeeze play out, which we've been saying for ages is going to come. And here it is. It's happening. Tim, you're an investor in space. How do you feel about it?
I'm excited. I mean, from my point of view, because Zach and I, and even you, Martin, we've been in it for so many years. I'm just looking for consistency of the price. And it's going to take until next year, until the Delta flight. However, I did go in and buy more shares. Probably Zach did the same thing the other morning when it was under 350. So I bought in some more, but I'm a long-term investor. However, I'm not jumping on it at $40 or $5 because I know that it will pull back. History has shown us that, and I just will not get burned with momentum buying or just the emotions behind itself. Hey, it's going to get up there. No, it's like a roller coaster. It'll go up, but it'll come back down. So you just have to be patient. But overall, I'm very excited about space right now.
Yeah,
beautiful say.
Yeah, I'm so pleased for everyone, and it's great because when we first started the channel, we were #1 all the time for SPCE stock, that search term, and we've been doing a few videos, but not much in the last few months. No one's been talking about it other than the earnings calls and all the reports and stuff. But I said to you yesterday, I'd go straight in at #1 the moment I start doing it, and we're #1 now. If you type in SPCE stock incognito, I'm #1 again. The Wall Street of Dubai has started to come back. The Wolf of Dubai is coming back now, but he's #2. He can't get #1 now. So we're going to stay there. So I'm very excited to see it for all of you guys. And as we talk, it's pumping and pumping over 16%. Saab just joined us. Saab, you were saying some great stuff during the chat today. You were happy with the way Jerome Powell performed. I thought that was his best in the 4 years I've been covering. That was the best. He basically was respectful to the president. He didn't throw him under a bus. He didn't say, yeah, it's all because, I mean, let's be realistic. The guy's a professional, right? He's not going to come on and just be an idiot, right? He was respectful with the president. You can clearly understand his feelings, but he's keeping very much neutral on that. He's confident. He's in charge of the Fed. He's not being bullied around. He knows what he wants to do, and that's how the economy needs to work. I think someone mentioned in the chat, why can't the government be in charge of the rates? We used to have that in the UK as well, and it was taken away from the government and put to the Bank of England, and that's what you need. You don't want politics coming into this kind of stuff. And I saw you mention that, Saab. You feel that way today? He did a good job?
Absolutely. Like, he looked more confident today than he has for the last probably 4 years. He knows which way the economy's going. Well, he's got the information, and he wasn't walking on eggshells at any point. He had good, clear, concise answers, and because he's got the information, and he was reporting based on the information he has. So it looked positive to me. He can see the way the economy is going to play out, or the way he thinks it's going to play out. So, he looked really confident. Happy birthday, Jenny.
Yes. Oh, Jenny's muted.
Happy birthday, Jenny.
Hang on. I think Jenny's muted. Let me unmute Jenny. There you go. Jenny has a bit of background music on. Jenny, you just got happy birthday from Saab there. And Zach and everybody else.
Hello, thank y'all.
We're going to celebrate.
Powell could have given me a rate cut for my birthday.
We didn't need a rate cut. We didn't.
We didn't.
You need a K cut. K cut.
No, do you know what? This is great that we didn't get a rate cut. I'm just going to mute you in between conversations just because there's some background noise coming there. Yeah. Something's bleeding from somewhere. It's what it is. You've got the way you've called in. There's a microphone setting, and you've got it on something to do with either feedback control, echo control, and you've got something which is just. It's listening back to itself, even though you can't hear it. But Saab had that issue. He seems to have fixed it himself. So there you go. Have a chat with Saab. He'll tell you what he did. I don't know what he did. Maybe he threw it out the window and just rebooted it. I don't know. Anyway, let me just mute you for a second, Jenny. So this was great that we didn't need a rate cut. Remember, what we need, and this is the most important, and I think everybody here will get this. I think Joseph is quite new to investing. Are you new to investing, Joseph?
I did for 20 years in the stock market, and then I dropped out for like 10 to 15 years. I'm more into crypto now, but back to the stocks.
So,
I'm learning.
Okay, so you're not new in investing. So all of you guys will understand that. But a lot of my viewers who are new won't understand this. The most important thing is stability and confidence and confidence in where the market's going. Okay, investors. The economy is not the stock market. The stock market is ahead of the economy. Where the economy is today is not the stock market. Stock market is where we'll be in 6 months' time or a year's time. People buy and do what they do today based upon the future. That's what investing is, right? So they want confidence. They want to know who is running the ship, what's going on, and where will my money be in 6 months from now. I'm not talking about traders who just want to get a quick buck by pumping up Virgin Galactic and taking profit, and nothing wrong with that, by the way. But long-term investors, the ones that really can move and develop the market, like Warren Buffett, he goes out, then he comes in and stays. He's not in and out every 5 minutes, right? So when Warren Buffett comes back in again, or whatever he buys, he keeps it for years, like Coca-Cola and many other things. I know Tim Rogers appreciates that with his Pepsi investments. So what we found out today was the Fed is in charge, and even though we're not lowering rates, the market rallied. Why did it rally? Because there's confidence in the United States again. There's confidence in the economy that everything's going to be okay, and that's all people need to know. So now they're all buying back in again. Now for us investors who've been buying the dips on the way down like me, wow, this is double bubble for us because everyone's pumping up what we bought on the way down. This is great, and they're not going to want to sell because they just bought in here. And they're buying higher and higher and higher on the way up. And all we have to do is hold our positions. It's a good day today. And the fact we can achieve this without a rate cut is great. And at the end of the day, the way I look at it is this. I'm paying 5.25, slightly less than the 5.5 because I'm on the second tier up on margin now, and I want to keep it above that margin until I can massively pay it off quickly to keep me in that 0.5%, that's like 0.25% discount. If I can pay what I've got now at this level, when we get the rate cuts, it's just going to get easier and easier and easier. So going through the hard times just makes the good times so much more rewarding. Look at Virgin Galactic now. We are fully in the midst of a short squeeze. 6.3. It's gaining momentum as well. Don't be surprised if we get a big rally after hours tonight, catch everybody out. Virgin Galactic, very often on a Wednesday and Thursday, if you've been watching this stock, I don't know why this happens, but over the last 4 years, you see these after-hour actions, and suddenly people jump in on this and it goes a bit crazy. But we shall see what happens tonight. I don't know. But it's a good day. Let's come back to thoughts around the panel. I want to go back to Saab. You gave me some thoughts there about today. Have you got anything else you'd like to share with us? XRP today, perhaps?
Well, XRP, I was ready to sell a little bit today, do a bit of trading today. After because it pumped up, and I was going to sell a bit and buy it when it's under $2. I don't often do that, but I was pretty sure that it was going to dump today after we didn't get any cuts. But that was a bit of a surprise to me, honestly. Other than that, I bought space a couple of days ago, which wasn't really. It's not really the stock that I've had, but since I was watching this short squeeze that's coming in. I bought a couple hundred shares, and hey, I'm up on a bit of space.
Yeah, it's hard not to be up really today. And again, it's getting easier for me to be able to see it go without me in it. It was difficult at first, giving all these predictions and interviews with CEOs and watching it go up when I'm so clear it's going to go up. It's getting easier to allow it to go up without me because I'm starting to become the old man in the room and be happy that everybody else is doing well and just focusing on the show. But yeah, it's great. And this is the only one that hurts a little bit because I lost 30 grand at the beginning and I bought it at the top because no one could be more bullish than me. I bought it at $70 and that's the old money as well. So that's 20 times what this is today. And if you don't know what I mean by that, let me just share on the screen. When I talk about $20 and people go, sorry, $70 and people don't get it. If I show you what it is in old money, look at this. If you really want to see where I bought it in the money it is now, 736. Okay. So that's what I paid for it. So can you imagine how salty I feel, or at least I did, watching this go up when we finally get the short squeeze, having lost 30 grand. But there it is. I'm happy that you're all doing it. So good for you guys.
I think we've all had that. I thought we've all had that at some point in our investing careers. It happened to me within Seagull a few years back. And I thought I was just too ahead of the game. And I think I usually think too far ahead, like I'm a Tesla investor. I'm thinking about the long term out, and sometimes you have to think a little bit more shorter term, I guess, on some of your investments. But yeah, having within Seagull, for me, I bought it at like 55 or something, and it went all the way down to like $6. And then I got out of it at about 15 when it started coming back up. And then I'm just done with it, and I'll never look at it again.
No, that's it. You got to move on and let it go and look for the future and not look back. Absolutely right. It's just that this particular stock, I'm very passionate about it because of all my experiences in my life with Virgin Experiences, working for Richard Branson, and also being connected to space and Star Wars. I really am excited about seeing this deliver, and I want to fly on it myself one day. So I'm really glad. I hope we change management because if I turned up at the spaceport, they wouldn't like me and I wouldn't like them, and it would spoil it. I need some new people to work there to make it fun for me. Oh, there's that Martyn Lucas guy. Sorry. I'll just hide behind Zach Zay. They all love him. They all love him down there. They think he's great. Anyway, Zach, I mean, tell me how you're feeling right now, because you've been buying this. You've never stopped buying it. It's your number one asset. You're into space like me. You've got everything space around your house. You've been buying this, taking the abuse from everyone and all the rest of it. And now, look, we're still rallying. We're 16.4% How do you feel about?
It feels great. It feels great to see some movement, but let's don't forget a week ago on the 12, it was 285, the lowest of low. So 285, right second before you know the news about Richard Branson in England, I was able to buy 500 at 291. I'm dying it to go under 4. I got the cash money ready under 4. It's not about the question if to put more and how much more or where is the bottom or where is the top. It's an incredible journey to follow the news. It's not too aggressive. It's very boring in some way, but if you really know what's coming, it is a roller coaster. So I'm enjoying today part of the ride, feel high. I see the view, but I also see the down, which is very low under.
Yeah, we never mentioned that. How about that for timing? The moment we put that video out, we went live within... who was it who sent me that in? Who was it who gave me
Perfect.
that?
Byron Bynum.
Brian Bynum. Brian Bynum. Don't thank me for this. Thank Brian. Is Brian Bynum in the show today? Because it's all down. This is all down to Brian Bynum. This one, Brian. Yes, he is. Brian Bynum. Can you call in, Brian? Because Brian, are you here? Brian actually messaged me. When I was off air, he didn't even know I'd got the message, but he sent me a message and I was just doing some other things. And he said, Branson has just gone live in the UK at an exhibition and he's talking about building the spaceport in Cornwall, which is 5 minutes from my house, right? I live there. And I was off air, so he wouldn't even known I'd read it. And I thought, let me just check that, because I have to verify everything, of course, even from a member. So I went and checked the news story. I thought, flipping heck, this is going to be big. This is going to be a great story because even though Richard Branson can't save the stock, we've been here before, but people know, the ups and downs of Richard Branson, but this is going to be big. And literally the second I recorded it and posted it and put it on my social media, it had already gone up like 8%. It went straight up. The moment my post came out, I thought this is going to be great. And we haven't looked back since. So Brian Bynum, yes, he's here. Brian, all these videos trending and doing well and the whole Virgin Galactic story, we've put that news out and everyone's buying it. And this stock is small enough where we can influence it. We really can. As you know, we know some of the biggest investors in the space, like Andy Shovel, for example. So, Brian, if you are available, call in. Yes, Zach, you trying to say something?
I do have a question. So we know that Spaceport America in New Mexico is 1,000 feet altitude, which means we save fuel taking off with the planes being 1,000 feet altitude above sea level. What is the sea level in Como? How high is sea level in Como?
Oh, it's right on. It's sea levels. The airport is on the sea level.
Because one of the benefits of New Mexico is gas saving.
No. If you go off the end of the runway, you're on the beach. It's straight in the sea.
And congratulations to the 2 astronauts got back yesterday after 6 months.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome back to Earth.
That was good, that. I enjoyed that. Yeah, that was very, very good. I said to Leah, I should cover this. I bet everybody will want to watch this. But we just sat and watched it. And I was going to go out for my walk, but it was like bloody tornadoes everywhere. So I didn't. We had our parts of our roof blown off yesterday. So we had the repairman round today.
Wow.
Banging it on. It ain't like in Cornwall. We have like real heavy slate. Here it's just like this soft asphalt stuff. It's just like paper, and it blows off in no time, and then they just nail it back on again. It's the funniest thing. It's like a sort of cardboard house. They just come along with a nail gun and stick your roof back on again. It's kind of odd. I ain't used to all this. Anyway, it's funny, really. This is great. Jenny B, it's your birthday, Jenny. Let me unmute you a minute because you're muted. There you go, Jenny. Let me unmute you. Oh, you muted yourself as well. So let me unmute you. Unmute yourself. Hang on, we're muting each other. Oh, there you go. Guest has muted themselves. Now, Jenny, unmute yourself. Come on. You can do it, Jenny. No, you haven't done it. It says guest has muted themselves. You've got a little microphone on. See, this is why you might have 2 microphones open. That's why we're getting the background noise. Where you're calling in on, not on YouTube, where you're calling in on, the little interview screen where you called in, on that window, it will say microphone muted. And you've got it mute. Don't nod at me telling me it's not muted. I'm bloody looking at it. It tells me it's bloody muted. She's there going, no, it ain't. I've unmuted myself. I know what I'm bloody doing. No, you bloody don't. You're rubbish. You ain't got a clue what you're doing, right? Unmute yourself. What are you pressing there? You're looking down at something. What are you pressing? How did you call in? How did you call in, Jenny? Did you call in on a phone? You called on that? You called in on your phone? No, you didn't call in on that. What are you showing me your phone for? See, she's talking, but we can't hear her. Jenny, I tell you what we'll do. Hang up. I'm going to hang up for you to make it easier, and you call back. And this time, unmute your bloody self. There we go. I'll hang her up. I'll just cut her off. There you go. How about that? Taking care of that. Okay. Virgin Galactic's just trimming off a little bit at the moment. Let's go back to the XRP is holding up. Oh, Tim's calling back in again. We lost Tim for a moment. Let's put him back in his little spot. There he goes. Where did you go, Tim? You disappeared for a minute.
Yep.
Oh, here's Jenny. Here's Jenny. Here's Jenny. There you go.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Do I have any feedback?
No, you don't have any background noise now. Oh, hang on a minute. Now I see what the noise is. When I'm talking, right, the audio of me is coming onto you back into the microphone. So you have got me turned up somewhere other than the call itself. So you've got YouTube unmuted. So what you do, Jenny, is you mute everything other than the call where you called in. Whatever device you called in on, that's the audio feed. Everything else is muted. Because I can hear myself talking. All right? Now, don't worry, Jenny. If you can't work it out, it don't matter. Life can move on. We can live with the bad sound. We just go, yeah, that show was a bit rubbish, wasn't it? Jenny B. Yeah. Do what, Jenny?
I've been talking to myself forever.
What?
Do what, Jenny?
I said I have the sound muted on my YouTube, but I don't see a microphone.
See, this is why your microphone is really low. We can hardly hear you because you've got a device somewhere picking you up, not the microphone that you're calling in on. You've got other bits and bobs going on here. Anyway, it's creating chaos, but don't worry about it, Jenny, because what we're going to do now is we're going to sing happy birthday to you. Whether your microphone works or not, it don't matter. All right? So what we're going to do is...
No rate cut, cake cut.
Cake cut. Yeah, no rate cut. We got a cake cut. So, Jenny, this is for you. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go over to this screen here, and everybody, we're going to do happy birthday to Jenny. All right? So I want to see copy and paste in the chat, and I want to see everybody going nuts. We're at 74,735. We're nearly 75,000 live on the show. Right, let me go over to here. Now, I'm not set up the way I like to be today for this, but I'm going to do it anyway because Jenny's important, right? Jenny's worth it. Let me go over to this one here. There we go. Right, there you go. That's me thingy screen. There you go. Stacey, if you're calling in, let me know in the chat. I won't answer the phone unless you say you're calling in. All right. So if you're calling in, Stacey, you need to let me know in the chat. If you're not calling in, you've got to tell me you're calling in before I let you in. All right. Okay. Oh, he's got his little toy. He's got his space toy there. All right. Hang on a minute. Let me turn the microphone on. Right. Here we go. Let's get this over here. I need the birthday thing. Okay, Stacey. All right, you said you were calling in. Now call back in again. Now I know it's you. Flipping X, Stacey. It's not that bloody hard, is it, really? Why is it always so bloody hard for these people? Right, let me put Stacey in guest spot number 7. Right. Oh, Stacey's not on camera. Okay, can't take a call if you're not on camera. Stacey, what's wrong with you and your bloody phone? Unbelievable. Right, let's go over here. I wasn't ready for this. This is a surprise. I wasn't doing piano songs today. Flipping Jenny's making it. Jenny's giving me a hard time now. I wasn't going to do this. I blame Jenny for this. Well, obviously it's Jenny's fault. It's obviously Jenny's fault. Right. Turn this microphone off, otherwise it's chaos. Stacey's trying again. You better get this right this time. Stacey's got a thing with her phone. Oh, there she is. There's Stacey, look. I know that's Stacey. I can see her out on her flipping, on her little thing she's got there, look. There we go. Okay, Stacey, you're in or not? Your camera's frozen. Poor old Stacey, she don't know what she's doing. She'll get it one of these days. All right, there we go. Turn that bloody thing off. Poor old Stacey, she ain't got a clue what she's doing. One of these days she'll get it. Right, turn the piano up. Right, Jenny B. Are you ready? 222. See, this is why I wasn't ready. Unbelievable. You can't say, oh, bang me head. Right. Press that button there. Press that button there. There goes the wind, look. 2, 2. Right, where's me bloody... What? I know why. This is what I have to do in the morning, folks. Are you feeling guilty, Jenny? Yeah, good. I bloody hope you are. Right, okay, here we go. Right, everybody, happy birthday to Jenny. You ready? In the chat, let's do it. Right, I've not even got my foot switches. See, they're all in the wrong place. It doesn't matter. We'll make the most of it. More buttons to press. You ready? Here we go. This is for Jenny. Happy birthday, everybody. Let's go. Happy birthday to you, to me, to you, to you. Happy birthday to you, to me, to you, to me. Happy birthday, dear Jenny. Happy birthday to you, to me, to you, to me. All right. Okay, Jenny, you ready? This is for you now. You're going to be live on the telly. Here comes Jenny. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. And what Jenny needs for her birthday is a mute switch on a microphone. Happy birthday to you, to me, to you. Happy birthday to you, to me, to you, to me, to you. Happy birthday, oh Jenny. Happy birthday to you, to you, to you, to you, to you. Oh yeah, no, 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 no. I'm loving it, loving it, loving it. Let me unmute you. Let me unmute you. Give me a big, give me a big round of applause for Jenny. Come on, make some noise.
Happy birthday, Jenny!
That was beautiful, Mark.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank
That's
you
good,
so
that.
much.
You're very
Very
welcome.
special.
Very welcome. Well, we need to go and wrap this up now. Let me go back up to the
Mike
main
stayed
part.
over there flying his spaceship. Thank y'all. That was very
You want to know Yubo? Hi, Yubo. Yeah, I'm out of this world. Cutest out of this world.
Oh my
What his
God.
name's that?
Zach, you're in your car, but you're not driving, right?
Hands free. No hands. I'm parking.
All right. There we go. Let's bring
I wish you all your dreams will become true. All your stocks will be green.
Yes.
That'd be nice, wouldn't it? That'd be nice. Right. How about it, folks? How about it? Well, it's 3 o'clock. The bell's just gone in 3, 2, 1. Perfect timing. The bell has gone. Let's see where we go in after hours. I said you might get a bit of a surprise on Virgin Galactic. Will we get it? Let's have a look. There's my overall portfolio. I don't mind. It's not low enough. Overnight, I'll set a couple of trades for 110. That's the S&P I'm talking about, all right? So if we go down here, if the S&P drops, sorry, not 110, 510. If it drops that low, I've got some money to buy. I could just set a permanent buy order for anything now under what I've bought before. So if middle of the night tonight, we get a bit of a selling and it goes to 510, I'll just buy a bit more underneath. If it's not, we'll just focus on paying off margin. Doesn't really matter. Got enough now. Let's go into XRP. That's holding up 8.87 so far. And Virgin Galactic, he said it again. How does Martyn know? How did he know it's going to go up after hours? Damn it, he's right again. I can't believe it. It's going up after hours. Just saying. What do you make of that?
The only way is up.
Oh, yeah.
Baby.
Yeah. Can't possibly go down. Can only go up. There's only one way it can go. All right. Give me your final thoughts because, quite frankly, I've had enough of it now. I've been going live all day. I've been in this studio since 6 o'clock this morning. I've had enough. I'm bored with you all. I'm not getting enough back. I'm not getting any good luck. I'm not getting enough back. Right? The energy's gone a bit down. So I'm gonna have a break. I'm gonna have a cup of tea, biscuit, see Leah, ask her how her day went. Leah, how was your day today? And she'll go, all right. My day, how was your day? All right. Nearly at 75,000 subscribers. You never guess who called in. Who called in? You know Tim Rogers, that bloke, he called in. Did he? Oh yeah, who's Tim? Who's Tim? You know who Tim is. He likes Virgin Galactic. He talks about dividend. He talks about long-term investing. Oh yeah, I know the guy. You know Zach Zay? He called in. Oh Zach Zay. Oh I know Zach Zay. Jenny B down the road. Oh Jenny B. Met Jenny B. She said, oh yeah, remember you met Jenny B down at the party. Yeah. Saab called in. Who's Saab? I always get him confused with somebody else. That's what she says. Who's Saab? He's that guy, XRP guy. I don't, which one's that? He's the one who wears the hat. No, that's Rod from Powell Group. That's the other guy. So I get so that's our conversation. That's the next half an hour. We might as well not even do it because that's what's going to happen. Now you know. Leah, can we skip the next half an hour? We've already done it. We've lived it. Let's just go straight to dinner. Do what, Jenny? What'd you say,
like
Jenny?
You don't need to count 75,000 subscribers with her every day.
No, hang on a minute. That's a point. Let's have a look at that. Are we at 75,000? Let's have a look. How many views did we get? 54,000. Yep, that's pretty good. 74,737. Nearly there. Oh, look at this. Oh, my God. Come on, was I right? Look at this. You're going to go, how does he know this stuff? Look at Virgin Galactic. It's at 1.5% after hours every time. Oh, my God. I'm just going to remind you, folks, when you look back on the last year, I hope you're writing all this down. How many times have I made these predictions? When the bull market would come, when the bear market would come, when the rate cuts would come, how much would the rate cuts be? Remember all that? How many rate cuts we get this year? We get a short squeeze. Which day? This, that, blah. Loads of it, folks. Just saying. Saab's nodding. He's going, yeah, it's getting ridiculous now. I bet someone just rings him up and tells him.
Hey, it's good to see you happy though today, Martyn. A couple of weeks ago we were in the doldrums and you said, oh no, what's going on? It's hard. I said you'd be all right in the next couple of weeks, 3 weeks. You'll be back on top and we'll be all green again. But congratulations getting back over that 300K today. It's good to see a smile on your face today.
Yeah, thanks, mate. It is hard. I mean, that's what being investors about, isn't it? Even though I knew I was a million miles away from a margin call, you know, it had to have gone down like another 30% on top of the, was it 12% it had already corrected. So I thought there's nothing to suggest that. You can be over afraid. You can over protect yourself. Otherwise, you wouldn't buy anything. If you're waiting for the perfect price, you ain't going to get it because everybody's waiting to buy everyone's waiting on the way down. Everyone's going to start snapping it up. You've got to have a little bit of conviction in yourself, but that doesn't mean to say it's not comfortable. Not because I was like, oh my God, I'm going to get margin called. It's just that every day you show up, it's red and it's doom and it's gloom. And my job is to talk for 12 hours a day about something that's hopefully inspiring. It's red again, guys. It's rubbish. It's boring and make it sound good. It's draining. So it's nice to see it go the other way. But I made the money and we all made the money by going to work on those days. If those days we'd buried our head in the sand and gone, oh, I'm only going to turn the camera on again when it's green, I wouldn't have bought any of the dips. I wouldn't have used all that margin to amplify the gains. I'd have been sitting watching it go up. I know Tim's going to tell me off and go, no, you shouldn't have the margin. You should have the cash on the side and all the rest of it. He's going to tell me off. But don't worry. Don't worry about it, Tim Rogers. I've got my wages coming in now. Going back, reducing my margin. My cash is coming in now. Don't worry, mate. I bought it when it was down.
At least I'm behind you, though, 100%. I'm like the big brother, just looking out for you.
You are, mate. You are, mate. And I've said on the show, and we even said, didn't we? You said about our age difference. As you get older, the situation changes. And that's right. I've got enough shares to achieve my goal. All I've got to do now is stop buying and focus on reducing margin. But of course, now, and I want to say this because some people are going to go, well, what happens when we're 20% up in a year from now? What about 2 years when you're 40% up now and it pulls back 10%? You're going to be buying higher prices than you are today. Isn't it better to buy more now? Well, of course, you're going to pay more in the future. That's inevitable. But in the future, a year from now, my margin will be 50% lower than it is today, or maybe, depends how much I earn on YouTube, to be quite frank. But the point is, in the future, when it's up, I can start to buy with another correction. So even if we're up 100% in a couple of years' time, and we're not going to be, but it may be 5 years, we're up 100%. Then I'm looking for a pullback. So we're still going to get that 20 times earnings on the S&P because it will go back to 27 times again. That's where it will go in the FOMO era. Everybody will buy in again and whatever. So all I've got to do then is buy back a 10% pullback from there. Yes, that'd be more than I've got today, but by then my margin will be 50% down and it won't matter. And I'll still have what I have today and what I had a year ago, and that'll give me all that cushion and all that support built in, just the same way as when you talk to somebody, well, just like you actually, Tim, probably, who've been invested for many, many years, you don't care about a 20% pullback because you're at hundreds of percent up. It doesn't matter to you, but it does matter for those who came in today. Those who came in today, 10% is a bloody disaster. It's like, oh my God, I'm losing everything. But the longer you stay in, and this is why I don't want to sell, I want to keep those original shares. And as I keep going up, it'll be easier and easier and easier just by staying in the game longer and longer and longer.
Exactly. I have one question in regards to Virgin Galactic. Why isn't Richard Branson being more marketable and supporting your channel when you're the number one person that's really marketing the company? You would think right now with the momentum, and even with what he's doing, now I'm not sure if he has restrictions because of the board saying that he cannot be out there, I guess, selling the company. But I'm disappointed that he has not been more proactive from a marketing standpoint, especially since this is his debut. I would be more in front doing interviews, being selective with who you're doing the interviews with. But could you imagine if he was on your show? Imagine if he was just out there where this stock could really be. Just letting people know, the retailers, the institutions, that this company is here to stay. Because in the last 6 months, we all have to ask ourselves this question: where has he been? That's my question as an investor.
No, I agree with you 100%. I think people need to realise, and it's great that we've seen this rally all because of Branson going to build in England. But It's not confirmed. He hasn't got the money to do it. He's not the money man he was years ago. He lost a lot of money during COVID, a lot of money on his airlines and everything else. And we know what he did with Virgin Orbit. We know about the whole story with Virgin Orbit. He didn't come in and rescue that. He rescued himself. He made sure he got his money back, if you like. He protected himself. So it is a great shame, I think. It is his baby. I mean, that song that I wrote with his mum, Eve, she died, and that's why he named the one of the crafts after his mum. So yeah, we know he wants it to do well, but he's not the money guy he was. He owns a position in Virgin Galactic. I think he's the lead shareholder. I think like 7%. I think somewhere in that region. 7
to 11.
Is it? Okay. But I've been frustrated. Yeah, I think it's frustrating that the management don't reach out to me when I don't anymore. I don't speak to them anymore, but I used to. Why they don't say, look, you know, we're going to give you live link ups from the show, from the flights every time. We're going to give you some interviews. I mean, Eric Kearney refused to go on air with his interviews. I interviewed him 4 times. And so I often wonder if people actually think I made it all up. But no, I did. Oh, hang on a minute. Look, Virgin Galactic, all of a sudden down 5%. People taking profit. It went up after hours and then dumped straight away. So those of you that are chasing it, you're going to feel a bit worried right now. Don't be worried right now. Let it go. This is a healthy correction after a big day like today. That's perfectly okay. If you bought it with the investors, you bought it for $2 anyway. But look at that. That's a big drop, 4.81. But let it go. Don't be worried about stuff like that. But there's always movement after hours on a Wednesday and a Thursday. I don't know why. It's just always been the case. Anyway, but yeah, it seemed frustrating. And he would never go on air with this stuff. It was always, we have a private conversation, and he'd reel off a list of facts that he had preset. He'd never let me ask him anything that, or give me anything that was not on the script. It was, I don't understand it. But listen, we just get on and do it for ourselves. You know, exactly. With the investors, if you don't like the world, don't complain about it. Do something about it and change it. And that's what we're doing here. And we're having some. We're having our say by doing what we're doing. But,
thank you.
Let's wrap it up with final thoughts, because I'm going to do my walk and talk in a minute. I hope you'll join me. I'll set up the walk and talk in a minute, and you can come and join me. We'll do what we did the other night, where you can call in and be on it if you like. We might do that again. I'll see. But anyway, the other night was great. I was walking around the lake and people were calling in with me. Let's unmute some people. I had some of you muted for a moment because there was a bit of noise coming through. Let me unmute Jenny again. There you go. There you go. So, final thoughts from you, Zach.
Fascinating and incredible boring day. Nothing happened.
Okay, wonderful piece of information there. So some of my viewers are going, what do I make of that? Don't get that. He's lost me. I don't even know what that means. Final thoughts from you, Tim Rogers.
Just remember, on the red days, that's when you go to work, and the green days is when you go on vacation.
There it is. There is the quote of the day. Saab, Mr. XRP, there he is. I have to say, Saab, I do like, even though I'm not a beard man, and I'm not really into men anyway, I prefer women anyway, I do find, I'm just saying, I just want to be clear about that. I always thought he does look quite cool when he with his black moustache and the white beard. It's very trendy. It's very cool, that. It's like a George Clooney type sort of, pepper.
Salt and pepper.
That's the word I was looking for. Salt and pepper. It's very cool. He's got a good look, hasn't he? The old Saab. Saab, final thoughts, mate?
Yeah, look, just keep on taking the information like we were here today. Not a lot happened, but we saw positivity. So keep taking the information and do your research. And that's what it's all about. Happy birthday, Jenny. Zach, awesome that space is doing better. And Tim, I'm more like you, mate.
Thank you, sir.
There it is. There it is. And Jenny B, the birthday girl, the birthday lady of the hour. 21 today, Jenny. I'm loving it. Tell me. Yeah.
I wish 21.
Yeah. I don't
Can
wish.
you hear me okay?
Hey, I can hear you. You're a bit quiet. You're like background sound, but that's okay. You haven't got a nice fancy microphone like this, Jenny, on late night radio show. No. No. Go on, Jenny. Final thoughts.
Days like today prove that being patient and having optimism that you always provide us, it pays off. And I think we received some stability today from Powell that hopefully will calm things down, at least for a couple of weeks till tariffs hit again on April 2nd. But hopefully we can see some green days.
Yeah, it would be nice. Guys, thank you for calling in. Thank you for sharing the whole experience of XRP, that whole thing, and the whole thing with the FOMC report. Thanks for all of you for calling in. I love you and appreciate you all. I'll see you later on for the walk and talk. There you
Have
go.
a good evening.
There
Bye-bye.
you go.
Be
Thank
safe,
you.
guys.
Thank you, guys. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. They're great guests today. Great people. Absolutely wonderful. What a great day that was. So what we're going to do now is wrap this up. As you can see, the S&P was definitely the way to go by buying these dips. I've amplified my gains. Didn't go low enough to buy anymore. That's okay. You've got to pay your margin off at some point. Now be happy with what I've got and let it just settle. And a couple of days from now, I've got the dividends. We're going to get about $1,000 from the S&P 500, over $1,000 now. It might even be 1,100 with the amount of stocks I've been buying recently. I don't think it will go quite that far, but that'll be nice. And we shall just reduce the margin once again. Been absolutely wonderful. Oh, hang on. Thank you. Look at this.
Brian Bynum donated $5 through a super chat. Thank you, Zach, Tim, Jenny, Saab.
Absolutely wonderful. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to set up a go live. Let me do it now. Schedule a stream, create a new, and this will be the walk and the talking, and the talking in tonight. And we'll be talking about how you feel about Jerome Powell with a little quiz. A little quiz tonight on the walk and talking in. Okay, so the walk and talk. Let's talk FOMC and a little trivia. There you go. I'll do a little bit of trivia for you. So walking and a talking in tonight. Let's talk FOMC and a little trivia. There you go. Let me scroll down here and make it for my mobile. Yes. Upload a thumbnail. We want walking and a talking in. Walk and talk. There you go. Put that in there. Select walk and talk. Got to keep fit. Otherwise you're buggered if you don't. Scroll down here. Show more. Yeah. AI content. No, don't do any of that. AI content. No. Yeah. To turn the ads on. Yeah. Got to turn the ads on. Live chat replay. Members only. Yeah. Members only chat. There you go. Redirect. Yep. That'll do. March 19th. We'll go live. We'll do it at 4 o'clock, which is in about 30 minutes from now, 40 minutes from now. Give me a chance to have a cup of tea. There we go. That's all set. I'll be back with you in the morning for the main show. It'll be an exciting day tomorrow to see how the markets open. I am going to set a limit order for 4 shares. And then if it goes lower, I can do another 4 shares. Say 4 shares at 510. So if we do get a late night surprise and people just go, I'm taking some profit out of the market, that's absolutely fine. I'm up now, look, nearly 11 grand again on the S&P. That's lovely. What we'll do, the S&P now is at 521. So if I set 4 shares at 510, which is lower than I've paid before, not a year ago, but on the recent pullback, I'll buy 4. And if I get 4 and it goes down to 4.8, 4.9, I'll buy another 4. If it doesn't, it'll just sit there. And we shall see what happens. And if it doesn't get spent, it doesn't get spent. That's absolutely fine. I can let it go. There you go. Got to listen to my big brother Tim Rogers, right? Got to listen to him. Okay, there you go. I think that's all set for the show later on. Yep. Let me now redirect this one here to go to the walking and talking in. Redirect. There's the walk and talk. 30 minutes from now. Let me give everybody the link. Now, as soon as I get SEC confirmation about the Ripple case, I will make a video and put this out. I will declare victory. Damn right we'll declare victory on our poll. Okay, we haven't yet got SEC clarification. We have of course, from Brad Garlinghouse. But once we get SEC official clearance, I will declare victory, and everyone who signed this will get a big thank you that we actually did it. So if you've not signed it yet, and you want to be a part of history, there is the XRP petition. Because the moment I get clarity, which could be tonight, you won't be able to sign it anymore. It'll be done. And I've already shared it with everybody that I could to influence this. But it'll be declared victory once we've got the full legal clarification. All right. So now I'm going to do this. Give you my walk and talk show tonight. Here it is. We'll be live in just 38 minutes. Let me put this in here. Is Virgin Galactic moving? It went straight back up again. Look at that. People took profit and bought right back. That's very, very healthy. Very, very healthy. That was an opportunity there to get back in again. People took profit. That shows you there's a few players, large institutions or big investors that can manipulate the stock. They took profit, drove it right down to buy it straight back up again. That's actually very bullish. That's a very bullish sign. That's very nice. I like it. I'm liking it. Okay, so here is the walk and talk. We might mention Virgin Galactic tonight. I think we probably will. Here's the walk and talk. So walk and talk next. There you go. Let me put that there. Let me scroll that up to there. Replace the pin. There you go. I'll put it a couple of times. If you stay where you are, you'll be able to be on the call. That's very healthy. Okay, so we've got space short 934. I'm going to record this. I want a quick one earlier on because I want to keep the pressure on Virgin Galactic staying up and going up. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to record this. What the time? It's 15:22. SPCE 15:22. Okay, let me do this for you now. So this will go out later on as a video as well. Virgin Galactic SPCE stock. We are in the middle of a short squeeze today. You may have seen my video earlier about the short squeeze, and we got the numbers. We got the 31% short interest. We got the volume. It's now nearly triple volume today on the average. And I made an announcement just before the bell that we'd get a rally on the bell tonight and volatility. We always do on it. Well, not always, but very often on a Wednesday or a Thursday after this sort of movement, we get heavy volatility after the bell, just after the bell. And I said, don't be surprised if we get some heavy movement. And we did. It went up after the bell and then vroomf, straight back down and then bought straight back in again. Now, what does that mean? What that means is, first of all, I was right. We did get movement after the bell on a Wednesday. All right, that's what it means. That's all that's important, to be honest. Just leave it on that. No, we got some movement. We pumped it and then it dumped straight away. It was quite a drop. It was about 4.5–5%, I think it was. That's because somebody or some institution or a collection of people were able to influence the stock very, very quickly. But what's bullish is they bought straight back. So they took their profit and then bought straight back. That's a very, very bullish sign for Virgin Galactic. That gave you the opportunity to buy back in again. But it also shows us that there are people prepared to take profit. We understand that. That's no surprise after the recent action. It went straight down after hours. Like we thought, there would be some volatility, and it came straight back up again. That's a bullish sign. They didn't just take their money and go. They bought straight back in again and was straight back up. Not quite where we were after the bell, but where we were on the bell. This is a nice move. Very good. So 31% short interest, and we've got three times volume. Today we had a good return from Jerome Powell. You can see I'm up today $2,797, 2.62, which is 2.5 times because of my margin. That's why it's up so much. It was a good stable report from the FOMC report from Jerome Powell, giving confidence in the market, good leadership. This is very, very good. We didn't get that nice rate cut, which would have been great for Virgin Galactic. But what we did get was the economy is strong, rate cuts are coming, and people feel more confident now with the economy. Despite all the noise, this was a good day for Virgin Galactic. We are in the middle of a short squeeze. This could go all the way to $10. All right, but don't chase it. Don't follow it. Investors bought it at the bottom. If you do see these dips, that's your opportunity. But if it gets away with you, let it go. Don't chase it. All right. I wish everyone the very, very best. Join me tonight for the walk and talk and all the other short space short videos I put out today. Go and check those out. There's so much information today. We've been overloaded. It's been an amazing day. Click above my head for all the links down below in the description. And I'll also pin to the comments as well. You can find it always down there. Very easy for you to find down there. Down here, I'll put, I don't know, the FOMC report and Virgin Galactic playlist. I don't know, something that I think will be good. I mean, it's good for me because if you watch it every 6 minutes, I earn 1 cent per person. Think of me. Just think of me. Don't do it for yourself. Think of others. Think of me. I'm getting old. I need to earn some money. Every 6 minutes, think, there you go. I've just donated another 1 cent to Martyn. I mean, you didn't pay for it. You skipped the ad anyway. You might as just, in fact, if you really like the show, let the ad play out. I earn even more money. But if you skip it and just go, bugger it, I earn 1 cent per person. You know, think of, just be nice. In fact, I might go out and get a cat, because if I get a cat and then I say the money goes to support my cat, I'll probably earn more money. More people will watch the ads all the way through, but I haven't got a cat, so I can't lie. But maybe I'll get a cat. Above my head, down over here, over here, over here. Until next time, take care of yourselves. Think of others. Think of the cat that I might buy. Take care of yourself and each other. All right. Okay, I'm going to get out of here. This is getting silly now. We got 222 people still watching me talk about cats. That's not bad. About 3 years ago, there'd have been 2 people here. There'd have been Mike and Bill and maybe Zach. I mean, maybe 3 people. They wouldn't have cared about me talking about cats. They just wouldn't have listened. They'd go, I'm this Martyn, you're talking rubbish. I'll come back when you're a big YouTube channel. And here they are now, 227 of them. Right. That's it from me. I'm going to get out of here. Time to do Day Trader of the Day once again. Are you ready? Let's bring on the funky music. Here we go. Time to do the Day Trader of the Day. See who's made the most money. See who's lost the most money. To be in the competition, you have to be a member. Yes, I just made it up. I bet you can't believe it. Well, Panaman, you can't believe it, can you? Of course you must have a cat. There you go. Catter. I'm going to buy a cat just so I can get some more super chats. All right, I'm up today. I'm up, bloody right, I'm up. There we go. I'm up today, 2.66. And going up. Up 2.66%. Let's roll the credits. Who beats me? Anybody beat me? No chance. Yeah, I know. Bloody loads of you. You're all going to beat me today. I'm in the S&P. I'm just a boring old guy. Churning along. Churning. That's what I'm doing. I'm churning along. Just made that up. Is that a real word? Probably not. Let me roll the credits. Roll the credits. Let's roll the credits right now. Here we go. Stars of our show. We got a few trolls today who are the stars of our show. They actually paid to troll me. I'm loving it. Subscribers: Benno, Roger, Discover, R7, Anthony Miner, Dylan, Tom, Flute, Lucas, Philip. These are all my new subscribers. New members: Danny, Paul. New members as well. And Dog Attack. Spam, 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 spam. And Brian Bynum. There they go. They paid to spam my channel. Now they're stars of the show. I'm loving it, loving it, loving it. Up 2.66, up 9%. Damn it. Up 4%. Damn it. Up 5%. Damn it. Up 2.39. Damn it. Up 7.12. Can anyone, I mean, basically I've come last. All right. I don't care. I should care. I should care a lot. All right. Okay. I'm going to give it to MSK. MSK has crushed it today. Round of applause to MSK. Let's go, 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 go. Thank you very much. Ooh. Give him a big thumbs up. That's it. I'm out of here. Bloody marvellous. MSK, you done great, mate. You done great. Let me clear the boards. There you go. Shadooby-dooby, shadooby-doo-wop, bam! Okay, that's it, folks. We're out of here. Did you like that? That's a new little fancy ending. I thought the ending was quite good, frankly. Did you see the back of my chair? Looks good, doesn't it? Proper chairman of YouTube, ladies and gentlemen. That's it from me. I'm out of here. Have a wonderful evening. I'll see you in 29 minutes on the walk and talk. Now I'm going to go and basically have deja vu with Leah and basically repeat everything I just said. How was your day, Leah? Yeah, it was all right. How was yours? You never guess who called in? Tim Rogers. MSK? Isn't that? No. Zach's 8. No, they're different. What about Saab? Who's Saab? I don't know who Saab is. But good night. Take care of yourselves and each other.